Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Pressure's built and 9 weeks of racing have brought us to this point, ladies and gentlemen. Season 26 has got one round to go. As we head into tonight's finale round, we welcome you in for the Racekraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for Split 2 here this evening for the finale round of Season 26 of the Vets, as we come out to the wondrous Montreal, Quebec, Canada for Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, as we will go racing around this man-made Grand Prix circuit with a lot of elements about it similar to street circuits out there across the world. It's a bundle of challenges with the concrete barriers surrounding this short, sharp circuit. There's a lot of pressure on these drivers coming into tonight. Hamish Munro here with you alongside Brett Fisher as always. Brett, We come into tonight's race where the championship is closer than ever for a final round. Top two competitors separated by one solitary point after certain mistakes last week at Miami Autodrome from the previous championship leader, Reece Degoe. He now finds himself 1 point adrift of Shane Randall as he leads the championship into the final round for only the second time this season. Now, Degoe held that championship lead for 3 weeks in a row, Brett. He's given it up before the final round of the season. Can he clinch it back tonight and take home the Split 2 championship for the first time in his Vets career and for the second time in SLS's racing, or SLS Racing's career, for their second Split 2 championship in 2 years?
Well, good evening, Hamish, and welcome, punters, to the broadcast tonight. Great to have you all here. What a fantastic night we're in for here. The pressure is on. The pressure has been on all season, and it's finally coming to a head. The pressure cooker is just screaming the needles in the red. What is going to happen tonight? Let's find out. There's two main contenders we've been talking about, but there's some other ones that are just hanging around the background. You never know how they're going to, what's going to happen tonight. Kokoschky, Kiddis, who else was there? There was Hedesheed. Yeah. Hedesheed, yeah. So, look, it'll all unfold shortly, but I'm excited. I'm pumped for tonight.
Now, so obviously our main two contenders for the evening are Shane Randall and Reece Degoe. If both of them have absolute mares this evening and either fail to score points by not making 75% of the race distance or by finishing at the back end of the field, then there is still mathematical chance of Alex Kiddis, Simon Hedesheed or Stephen Kokoschky to win the championship. Matthew Stoyles, Joel Oosterval and a couple other drivers behind them would require Randall and Degoe to not score points for them to win the championship, with 31 cars in the field tonight. But the top five are contesting, but the main contenders are those top two, the 1 point that separates them, Randall and Degoe. As I said, SLS Racing going for their second Split 2 championship in the last 6 seasons. The last time they won, ironically, was the last time we ran Lime Green as the season theme back in season 21. When Stephen Grumley took home his first championship for Split 2 honours here in the Veterans. For Shane Randall, well, the last time Infinity Motorsport won the championship was only 2 seasons ago with Halil Cesar in season 24. They're going for their 5th Vets championship within the last 6 seasons. They didn't get the 5 in a row last season in season 25. Now they're looking for their 5th in 6 seasons as well. 2024 for that team overall, Brett, arguably was their best year yet, and actually I'm going to correct myself here, it's actually the 4th in 5 seasons. Their first championship was all the way back in season 17, and then they had a bit of a lull until they got to season 22. So they're going for their 4th championship tonight in 5 seasons. If Shane Randall can do it, he will win his first Split 2 championship, and it'll be the second Split 2 championship for that team in the last 3 seasons, which is a hell of an effort for him to do so. Both Shane and Reece have had very similar runs this season, incredibly similar, almost picture-perfect mirrors of each other. Neither of them have won a race this season. Both of them have had 5 top 5s, but Randall has had 1 more top 10 than Reece Degoe has. Randall has had 7 top 10s, Reece has had 6, and that is the differential for their points coming into this point of the season.
And as you alluded to, not winning a race, so this could be a first for Split 2, so that'll be interesting. Yep. And something that's been brewing the background as well, the Battle of the Bretts is still not over.
It's not over. It's not over just
I'm
yet.
currently leading the Battle of the Bretts, not by very much. Brett Taylor's up there, and also Brett Horsell. So we'll see how tonight ends that out too, the good old Battle of the Bretts.
Yeah, we've been overlooking it a little bit the last few weeks and kind of letting it brew as it's gone along. But as Brett just said, he is currently winning that battle with Brett Taylor and Brett Horsell as well coming into tonight's race. We'll see how that hands out after tonight's event as well. A firm handshake and maybe a pocket of tan bark, Brett, might be on offer for you for winning that one. Yeah.
Probably have to give myself a handshake too.
I was going to say, win enough battles of the Bretts. Win enough battles of the Bretts, and you can make yourself a garden bed. I don't know.
Yeah, awesome. Tan bark.
Yeah, tan bark.
That's bloody really old school. The old tan bark.
I know.
Or scoria. That's another old one.
So
anyway, let's go.
This is where we find ourselves. This is where we find ourselves tonight. 200 kilometres, 46 laps around the wondrous Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Here in wonderful Montreal, Quebec, Canada. As I said, it's a man-made island that's hosted the Canadian Grand Prix for multiple decades to this point in time. And we'll trickle our way on in to the city of Montreal here in Quebec, Canada. And we'll find that this island, very similarly built to Belle Isle in Detroit, as we said, is man-made. It's made just to be a racing circuit down here in Montreal. And we trickle our way on in and we find the 4.3k circuit opened back in 1978. This layout's been used ever since the early 2000s, and it's all going to start on the main straight up towards turn 1 and into Virage Centre at turn 2, where this is going to be a very early section, Brett, for incidents possibly happening off the not only off the race start, but even in through to lap 2, lap 3 as well. And if they can make it through 1 and 2, then you face the dangers of turn 3 and 4. Who can forget the contact between Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton through here many years ago at the Canadian Grand Prix that ultimately, arguably, cost Sebastian Vettel the championship that year. Run around then through turn 5 and up towards 6 and 7. And this first little section, Brett, very important. You can keep it neat and tidy through here. It's a very early opportunity for you to drop positions and maybe even ruin your race early on before it's even gotten started.
Oh, certainly. Sorry, I was having a bit of chocolate.
It's my superpower is to figure out when Brett is eating chocolate and cut to him as soon as he's eating it. That is my superpower. That we figured out this season. You then run down what would be the first DRS zone of the circuit if we were running Formula 1 cars around here, down towards turn 8 and turn 9 as you come underneath the bridge. Again, this is a section where contact can happen. Cars can get a little bit overzealous under brakes trying to go up the inside. And ultimately, it's a tight 9, though you can set yourself up very, very well at the dreaded turn 10 at Le Pringle. I pronounced that absolutely horribly. Most famous one that's happened down at turn 10.
Give it a go.
You go, have a crack, Brett. Go on.
No, because I'll absolutely... Le Pringle.
Yeah. Le Pringle. Maybe, I don't know. Most famous one that's happened down at turn 10, Robert Kubica's wild crash back at the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix, which saw, I believe it was Lewis Hamilton that went on to win that day, ultimately in that Canadian Grand Prix. But again, down the inside, you get good moments down here, but you've got to try and get your run onto the casino straight and the run through turn 11 and turn 12, down towards the Wall of Champions at turn 13 and 14. Pit entry, where you've got to be right on the left-hand side of the track tonight. Stay to the left as you come into pits. That could cause issues. And then the pit exit, you actually come out right on turn 2. You skip turn 1. So there is opportunity if drivers are battling into turn 1, Brett, for you to get a cheeky little gain on the exit of pit lane and to maybe hold them off as you come out of pits. So pits are going to be difficult tonight. The whole circuit's going to be difficult, but ultimately it's going to be main event. It's a main event track for a main event moment this season as we are set to crown Season 26. Season 26's Split 2 champion. And it must be said, for all drivers who've got themselves in the top 5 this season, but again, to those top 2, what an incredible season they have run. Unbelievable season for East Tagoe and for Shane Randall as well. It's been an absolute pleasure to call the action this season for those guys.
And it all comes down to tonight. I hope everyone out there's got themselves settled all in. Get yourself a beverage or whatever you like. Sit back, relax, enjoy the cool, casual, slow pace of this race. It's nothing going to be like that at all.
No,
it's going to be all fired up. We're going to get it, are we going to see some interactions in the first couple of corners? It's going to be fairly tight through there. Is everyone going to play nice for the first half of the race? Half of the lap, first half lap. There's a couple of little tricky sections. As you see, Reece coming up to one of them now. There's a little, and the slowdowns are very prevalent in some of these areas. So that's another thing that people are going to have to watch is hitting those slowdowns when you find yourself in a bit of a groove. And if you're in a pack of cars, that can hurt you severely trying to get out and clear that slowdown.
So probably one of the most difficult things the drivers are going to be able to do tonight is try and leave tonight's race on 0Xs without any incidents next to their name, and if the driver can do it, it will mean they'll find themselves with a cheeky 3 bonus points at the end of this race. That could be a key game plan for some of our contenders this evening in their own personal battles and for the championship battle as well, for those guys to try and mitigate off tracks, mitigate the slowdowns, mitigate the car contacts to get themselves home on a 0X is going to be a very, very tough challenge, but a well-rewarded challenge if they can make that happen, because it could find them getting an extra position or two within the championship standings as well. Reece de Goey, one of the contenders for the championship, makes his first crack here at qualifying. We'll see if he can put this lap together in the 5.18.
Oh, a little bit of a twitch then. So if he gets through these couple of corners here. Very, that was right near the wall, but he's nice and clean through there. Very interesting section of track through here. Hard on the brakes. Hop over the curb a little bit there. Right-hander. You've got to get it nice and cleanly on the power. You can get the car stepped out sideways through there very easily.
He does well to get the power down up towards turn 8 and 9. And into the braking zone under the bridge as well. Tries to use all the tarmac to his left-hand side. Try and cut as much of the curb as you can without extending track limits. On exit as well, gets a good run. That was nice and smooth for Reece de Goey as he runs down towards the heavy braking zone at turn 10. And again, got to make sure your braking pressures are set correctly. You don't want to have any lockups into 10 tonight, because that'll end you up off track and out the way and having to pick yourself up a little bit sideways. And that's the difficulty. It's a first gear corner. You've got to try and mitigate the rear end slip as you come out and onto the throttle. And that there, it wouldn't have cost him very much, but that's the difference tonight. That could be the difference in a pole lap or a P3 lap ultimately, and take you off the front row.
It's going to kill your top end speed down to here, before you hit your braking zone. Gets through there cleanly. Clark is all just set a time, 37.7. Horsell 38.2. Kiddis at a 38 flat.
De Goey with a 38
flat.
As Weston goes to the top now. So that little wiggle may have cost Reece, that little 3/10 that may have actually made the difference to getting ahead Roy Clark across that first lap attempt there. We'll see now, though, how the rest of these laps come. What about Shane Randall, the leader of the championship, into tonight's race? Across the line he comes after his first lap. It's a 1:37.49. Goes to the top in the 5:01, and he couldn't have asked for a better lap off the back of that attempt. What about Damon Fisher for 2:66? He's a dangerous man with a fast internet connection, and it's a fast lap time. 1:37.3 on the first attempt there for Damon Fisher. This is going to be a guy to watch next season, Brett. He could win the whole thing in season 27. You watch him. He's going to be quick.
Well, unless I don't know how many people are going to go up this coming season, so it'll be interesting to see who goes up. I don't know, depending on where he finishes, but he's the latter half on this season. He's on fire. That internet connection has certainly helped him monstrously. So
well, we've obviously spoken about it at length throughout this season and even last season as well. And actually, the difference that internet connection has now made for him. It's not only going to obviously stabilize him within the session, it's going to allow him to have quicker reaction times, because things are going to encode faster. They're going to load faster. And he's going to be able to anticipate things a lot quicker than what he's previously been able to do. He's going to be so quick coming off of this next postseason and into the preseason of season 27. He's seriously going to be a driver to watch. If he's in Split 2 next season, put your money on him to be a contender, because he's going to be right up there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. And, and it's just been the last few races definitely been shown. Like anything, he just needs to clean up a few things in his racing, like his pit stops and those. We were talking about 1%ers before, and just a little 1%ers that can hurt you big time. We saw Jones being hurt with some of those 1%ers. These pit stops maybe weren't quite as organised as he liked, and things like that. And if he gets a few of those things right, he will be having a very good crack. Not on board, but we're looking at Kokoschki at the moment.
He's doing a very
another
good
guy's
job.
had a good season.
He has indeed, and it is within that top 5, and more than likely could be one of those drivers that does end up going on to Split 1 next season, quite possibly. We'll have to wait and see, though, if that does happen. Obviously, coming off of the postseason and getting into that pub test as well. I think realistically, and I know we can't say the words locked in, because otherwise we're going to awaken Bruce McLeod like a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
I think right now, though, we can confidently say that Reece DeGoey and Shane Randall are going to split one next season. I think we can confidently say that with 6 and 7 top 10s between them and 5 top 5s for both of them based on their best 6 rounds. It is hard to look past the top 2 in the championship for being considered split one in season 27.
McKenzie going to 4th.
He has gone to 4th.
And the other thing you see, I was just thinking about then, is who is ready. Who's ready to go to split one?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, like, and DeGoey just going into 4th, and Kittis just going now up in 4th.
And Kokoschky to the
now
top.
taking a 37-2-1-2, so taking the top of the poll at the moment.
Yep,
nice work, Kokoschky.
A great lap from Stephen Kokoschky to put himself into the top end of the standings. Does Damon Fisher or Shane Randall have anything left in their final attempts here in qualifying? Damon Fisher has just crossed the line. He has not gone any better. It was a 1:38.0 for Damon on that lap, so he's going to have to settle for P2. A wriggle on the final corner is going to cost Randall, though. That will kill the lap for Randall as he comes up to the start-finish line. It is an improvement of 137.33, but without that wiggle, he may have put that car on pole.
Yeah. That's definitely Bruce Tannick in the wall there after his call there. That would have been interesting to see where he finished. Header sheet now going up the back there. Grays all looked like he ran a bit of grass there.
Ironically, a man that said he wouldn't be a contender this season because he was going to miss too many races, he's missed one, and it was a droppable round. It was last week in Miami. And the most important race he had to not miss was tonight. And again, he's going to be the first driver alongside Alex Kittis to take advantage of if those top 2 end up at the back end of town or they don't score any points. He's going to be the first one we look to possibly be this season's champion out of absolutely nowhere. Would be our first look. So that's going to be a fact tonight. Ultimately for Simon, he just needs to try and keep his race clean and hope that Lady Luck is on his side. And then we'll see if he is the champion at the end of the night. But again, I think ultimately
he could be
for
fully
him,
flawed.
Well, that's right. For him, Kittis, and for Kokoschky, they do need a Montreal miracle tonight to win the championship.
Qualifying finishes here. Kokoschky on top, Damon Fisher second, Randall third, Mr. Burns on 4th, and Kittis. We've still got some couple might be just trying to finish off there. And Kittis in 5th at the moment. Andrew Hoffman just coming through a couple of last corners. Will he get this in?
And we'll see if this happens. He's yet to put a lap in this qualifying session. New colours on this car, perhaps a preview for next season. Coming into season 27, of course, as he crosses the line. It's a 1:37.97. It's good enough for a top 15 start. So that's a pretty solid lap time for him on a final attempt where there would have been some pressure applied to him off of that one, as Ron Allen is just going to come around now to get into pit lane as well. I've had quite a few chats out there already. Brett's, of course, has always been out there getting the punters ready to go for tonight's race. Luke Ullman's in the chat with us too. Ron Allen as well. Jim Caparonis too. Maddie's in the chat with us as well tonight. Brett Horsell too, as well as Damon Fisher, Stephen Kokoschky, as well as Simon Haynes. And then one of those 2 championship contenders for the night, Reece DeGoey, in the chat with us as well. Great to have you all watching along with us as qualifying comes to an end and we prepare ourselves for the race start going forward here for Montreal. This is where the pressures build, and this is now the time to maximize your season. The last 9 rounds have been the building blocks for the foundation of your championship season, and for Reece DeGoey and Shane Randall, they have to maximize on the foundations that they have built leading up to tonight. Stephen Kokoschky, Damon Fisher, the top 2 on qualifying. Shane Randall will start P3 alongside 801 Sim Racing's Paul Burns. Alex Kittis, Ben Brook will start on the 3rd row ahead of Reece DeGoey in P7 alongside Scott Weston for the top 8. So there is one car in the line of the grid separating Randall and DeGoey. There's going to be one car between them off the start. Mackenzie Clark, the top 10. Manuel and Clifton will then make up our top 12, with Horsell Viger starting ahead of Andrew Hoffman, making up our top 15, with Brett Taylor ahead of Andrew Galley, Bruce Stanek, Chris Blanchard, and Halil Cesar makes up our top 20 for qualifying. Matt Stoyles, Todd Duggan ahead of Ron Allen and Joel Oosterval for the top 24, to Simon Hedershe, Jeremy Bush ahead of Brett Fisher, Derek Lovegrove, Pete Baxter, and Peter Latham, and all Peter 15th row of the grid, making up our top 30. Matty Monday ahead of Craig Schultz, with Scott McCune at the back end of the field, with a couple of drivers not setting lap times here tonight, including Michael Jones. McCune does have a rear of grid start, and that's why he's back there, and I think Jones may be in the same boat. Our race controllers here this evening, Todd Martin, Craig Schultz, and Lucas Burt is within the safety car here tonight. So a big thank you to those guys for coming along once again. But for Stephen Kokoschke, he has claimed the final pole position.
Pole man.
Yep, final pole position for season 26 has gone the way of the Synergy Sim Racing driver in Stephen Kokoschke. Congratulations to the 851 Südspeed entry for doing so as well. Rhiannon is joining us in the chat as well, watching over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel. Andrew Rushworth's in the chat with us too. Great to have you watching along with us as we get ready and set to go racing for the final time in season 26. And if you're wondering where the Chook Raffle's been, as it wasn't held last night, well, it's coming your way Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. I unfortunately can't be here for it. I wanted to watch it this week, but I can't because I'll have Porsche Cup action happening over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel. I will have to watch it in replay just to see how it all goes. But pressure's been rising for these drivers, and for Stephen Kokoschke in the 851, this is now where it's pressure personified, and it's time to maximise on what he has put on the board in qualifying. We're just awaiting Alex Kiddis, Andrew Hoffman, Matt Stalls, Ron Allen, Pete Latham, and Scott McCune to join the grid, although McCune has a pit lane start, so he'll have to start from pit road. Actually could be a benefit for him tonight, Brett, with how chaotic turn 1-2 could be here this evening. That may actually be a saving grace for him. He may not feel that way though off this race start, but it definitely could be a little bit of a saving grace going forward into race start procedure. But lights are about to go up for them here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. And as the revs will rise for the final race start of season 26, who is going to maximise in the rundown towards turn 1 as we're underway in Montreal, and it's a scramble start at the front. Great start for Kokoschke, for Kiddis, for Fisher and for Randall as they all start to push through turn 1 and 2 for the first time, as Kokoschke leads up towards turn 3 and 4, and the front runners have stayed with him. There's a couple of cars over in a moment further back. I think Allen and Blanchard are battling away back here. They've kept themselves tidy for now, but for Kokoschke it was a ripper race start, and it's 0.9 of a second the gap already.
Wow, what a start from Kokoschke. That was a lightning start. And look at him just power away at the moment. To get that far in front, just in the short couple of turns he's done, that is a brilliant job. But it's only just the start of the race, and it's only the first lap. Great to see everyone get through the first couple of corners cleanly. Let's get those tyres warmed up and up to pressure and temperature.
Yeah, well, of course, lap 1 of 46. 200 Ks to run tonight. So it should be roughly a 90-minute affair if we go without safety cars.
Tell you what, Damon's closed up that gap big time. He's closed up that gap to Kokoschke and gap Randall a little bit there. Randall's off the back of Damon by about a second. It's only about half a second off the back of Kokoschke. So interesting stuff to start this race. Now, Damon, there's a couple of people who aren't going to be really worried about the championship, and that'd be one of them, Damon. He's not going to be too fussed about what's going on in the championship. He just wants to plug away and have a great race.
Well, there are a couple of drivers within the top 10 right now who
Degoe in the background there, just a little bit sideways, sorry.
Yeah, he was.
Damon having a crack at Kokoschke.
He is having a crack at Kokoschke, so he's starting to put the pressure on now onto the race leader. There are a couple of drivers tonight who want to try and maximise their performances to maybe better suit themselves in the championship standings. Possibilities of getting into the top 5 are still on for drivers such as Scott McKenzie up inside the top 10, Matt Stoyles as well, who's a bit further back in the field. So there's still points and positions on offer for the minor bragging rights this season. And getting a top 5 finish in Split 2, that's no easy feat at the end of the season. I know we put the onus on the championship, but a top 5 finish, that's one to be proud of as well.
Ben Brook and Roy Clark just trading places there. Joe Osterwald and Rick Viger trading places there as well. And Clark and Brook just having a back and forth there as well. So a few things happening on track at the moment. Couple little gaps creating, but still a fairly big battle pack. Randall dropped down to 1.6 seconds off the back of Damon, so I wonder whether he's just cruising at the moment, just wants to get into the groove of things. He's got Alex Kiddis behind him very closely as well. And Paul Burns in 5th spot at the moment as well. So that little pack there goes all the way back down to Scotty Weston. So, yeah, second lap, things are going off.
They are
Randall
indeed.
just
I think
looks like he's just oozing into it.
Yeah, I think for Randall, you know, he knows that he needs to try and look after these tyres tonight. Montreal's well known as a tyre killer. Maybe try and mitigate the off tracks as well. And again, he doesn't need to chase down the race lead tonight. He'd be happy to sit where he is.
Tank and Horsell swapping spots.
Yeah, they're still battling further back. But yeah, for Randall, he doesn't need to worry about gaining positions. He just has to worry about keeping cars between him and Reece Segoe, because in this current position, he'll be winning the championship as Cesar, Brett Fisher, and Pete Baxter into pit lane here. So an early stop. But I think one that may be welcome is Cesar's got a bit of damage on the front of that car. So I wonder if maybe he was caught up in some stop-start action through turn 1 and 2 that may have taken away the front end of that Mustang.
Well, something's happened there to part company with that front splitter. Randall dropping back further again, about 2.5 seconds nearly flashed up there for a second. So it's well off the pace. Now, these boys out in front, there's no love lost there. Damon's still only about half a second off the back of really choked him out. Where's there, Kokoschki? But then the battle behind Randall goes all the way down to Tanik. So Tanik in 12th spot at the moment. So big battle pack and a long race to go.
Well, you know, it's a long race, and again, you've got to try and play the long game. Think about where you're going to end up in, you know, 40 or 44 laps time. Where do you want to be at the end of this race? And ultimately, you know, for some of these drivers, where you are on lap 3 doesn't really matter as long as you stay there at the end of lap 46, as Damon Fisher now takes the race lead from Kokoschki. And it looked like there Kokoschki may have just called him past, because he didn't really put up much of a fight. Damien just kind of came down the inside before the braking zone and took on the race lead. So I wonder here if there's maybe something happening for Steven, maybe some network issues or something, I'm not sure. And he's just willing to let Damon go.
Damon's passed the baton, has he? Yeah, well, I mean, look at that time. Damon did a 38 flat and Kokoschki did a 38.7, so 7/10 in it for that lap. So we'll see what happens there.
On board now with our championship leader, Shane Randall, looking back at Alex Kiddis through turn 3 and 4. So there's major pressure onto the back of the 501 Mustang at this stage. But again, he doesn't need to worry about Kiddis in behind him. He could let him go if he really wanted to. The main man he's got to watch out for is that 518 Camaro. He cannot allow him to get past him here tonight. He has to beat him on the road if he wants to win the championship.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, Kiddis has got nothing to lose here. I mean, Randall obviously in top spot at the moment on the championship. Kiddis not that far away from that top, so he's just going to want to push himself further up the field as he can and just hope something happens behind him if he can get past Randall at all. So if he feels that Randall's holding up, he will make an attack on him, I think.
I think so, and I think if it's an aggressive enough attack, Randall more than likely will be willing just to let him go, because again, for Kiddis to beat him in the championship, Randall would need to finish at the back of the field and Kiddis would have to win the race. I mean, that's so for Randall, letting him go for one position is not going to make too much difference. The main difference would be is he's going to have one less car between him and the SLS Camaro behind him in Degoe. So that'll be the only defensive process that may be happening right now. And the other thought is as well, so we mentioned the bonus points tonight. So again, if either of them are running on a 0x at any point of the race, well, they're going to be gaining a 3-point bonus at the end of town. For Degoe, if he holds on to that 0x to the end of the race, he randomly needs to beat him by 2 positions. One position is not going to be enough, because he'll tie with him. He will tie points if he finishes 1 position behind Randall with that 3-point bonus. So, you know, it would mean it would go to count back. He's pushing hard.
Clipping the wall there, yeah. I mean, look, it's great to see Randall and Degoe up in the top 10 at the moment, so keeping this championship alive thus far.
He is indeed. So for Degoe, he's got to try and pull every little trick out of the hat that he can here tonight and plan his way through this race. Take it as it comes and just see where you can end up with the checkered flag at the end of it all. Scott McKenzie, well, has been very impressive this season. Race winner back at Sebring, running within the top 6 here tonight. If he could get this car up on the podium and things go wrong for other cars around him tonight, he could find himself in that top 5 of the championship. after tonight's race, Brett. So there's a lot on offer for Mackenzie tonight to do well once again here. And, you know,
Kiddes,
he's having a crack. He looks like he wants
was
it.
right on the back of Randall then coming through the hairpin. So he's not holding back on those lime green wheels.
And just how bumpy it is down this straight as well, the amount of wheel movement down the straight. Oh, a little bit of a slide there for Randall, past the wall of champions. We'll see if it claims anyone here tonight, Brett. It's claimed many a champion before, of course, famously called the Wall of Champions after it collected Michael Schumacher many, many moons ago.
Burns.
Oh, he's having
a nice shallow dive there. But Kiddes, through the Wall of Champions, had a nice clean exit through. He didn't even touch the ripple strip on the way out. So, interesting there. Looking after the car. Now, Kokoschki has fallen off the back of Damon by about 4 seconds.
He has. So, Fisher's been able to push on. I think for Kokoschki, I think there's something serious happening right here. And he did mention some net issues in the chat with us, so this may be what's affecting him. It's dragged him back into the clutches of the 501 Mustang of Shane Randall back in P3, and it's allowed Fisher to have that 4.5 second gap ahead. Again, though, the more time, Kiddes wanted it. He wanted to crack at Randall, but he couldn't quite get there. He had a slowdown. That would answer it. Kokoschki had a slowdown.
Right.
So
there you go.
the more time now that Fisher can build, the better it's actually going to be for his fuel strategy tonight. If he can gain, Brett, a 10-second gap, he can take, relatively speaking, 23 litres for free on his next stop without being surpassed in the stoppage time. So he could take an extra 23 litres over a split stop. Split stop tonight, roughly 62 litres. Extra 23, you do the maths, it works out about 85 litres he could take for free if other cars are taking a split stop strategy here this evening.
Yeah, I can't do the maths, Kiddes just tapping the wall on the exit of the Wall of Champions. Roy Clark in pit lane.
Saw him battling earlier on with a couple of drivers out there, and he's now dropped out of this battle with Mick Clifton and Bruce Tannock, who's just ahead as well. Ben Brook, great qualifying tonight. He was up in P6. He's down 3 at this stage, though, but sitting nicely amongst top 10. It's been great to see the improvement of Ben Brook this season. For me, Brett, he's actually been one of the breakout stars this season, has Ben Brook, alongside Scott McKenzie. And of course, well, Michael Jones was our breakout last season. For Ben Brook and for Scott McKenzie, both these guys have really impressed me this season. I think both of them have got some great growth to come going into season 27, wherever it is they're racing, whether it's in Split 2 or in Split 1, depending where McKenzie ends up in the championship.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see how what the field for next season is going to be like, and where we're going to see our stars shine and people move up and get further into this Split 2. It's going to be exciting to see. So Randall just about 1.3 seconds off the back of Kokoschki. Now, so Kokoschki's got himself gathered up again, but I tell you what, Burns and Kiddes and Randall here. Randall's just got a slight bit of gap on Kiddes at the moment, about a half a second. Burns closed up, but just didn't get the drive out of the corner there. I just wonder what's going through the minds of Randall and Degoe at the moment. You know, like you can see, Degoe just looks like he's cruising around no man's land there a little bit, probably just protecting himself a little bit, I think. But Randall's got these two guys on his ginger as we see Kokoschki in pit lane.
Yeah, so Stephen Kokoschki comes in. So that now brings Randall out into P2 on the road. So he leads this little battle pack here for P2 now at this stage. We'll see what sort of strategy that Kokoschki pulls tonight. There's a couple of different routes drivers can go. We mentioned 62 litres is the split stop here this evening. You can go plus or minus 5 on that. So you go down to 57 litres or up to 67. Or you can go the extreme route and go plus or minus 15. You can go down to 47 and 77 if you really wanted to push it that hard. Reese, as I said in the chat, and what I think he's doing, he's biding his time. He knows that we're very early on in this race. He doesn't need to push on at this point in time. He's just sitting back there nice and comfortable.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like to me, that Reese is just, he's chilling. You know, like he's got a nice little break gap from Scotty Weston. He's got a bit of a gap in front of him, so he's like taking the pressure. I mean, he's controlling the narrative at this point. He's taking the pressure off himself. He's just sort of going to wind these laps away. But if you look at Randall, and especially Kiddes now closing and actually got past Randall. and overshot. So that's going to cause a little bit of kerfuffle there. So what I was going to say is that, you know, with now and also Mackenzie being brought into this battle as well, this is going to put, I mean, Randall is under the most pressure at the moment. He's got guys fighting behind him. And, you know, like someone just needs to take a big dive and things could go astray very quickly. So it looks like Kiddis might be coming into pit lane now.
He is indeed. That is going to release a couple of cars to keep going here. But I would say then for Randall, though, he's almost dictating this little battle pack, though, because he can dictate where they attack him or where he defends, and maybe even dictate some of their strategies as well, because if he does start to hold them up... Yeah. So Kiddis, Brooke, Hoffman, and Taylor all in. For Randall, he's almost dictating this battle now, because they're going to have to make a choice. Do they want to sit behind him, or do they want to keep going? As Burns and Mackenzie are going at it here, and Burns has got to slow down. That's allowed. Oh my God!
And around the outside. That was a bit...
Oh, now he's on the inside of turn 6. Can he get this done? He has. But that's allowed Mackenzie to go. And Scott Weston past Paul Burns.
Yeah, I understand that Randall was controlling the narrative a bit there himself, but not 100% with when he had Kiddis and Mackenzie and who else was it? Burns. You know, someone could take a big lunge. They were close enough to take a lunge, and if they just mistimed that, I mean, you've seen Kiddis. We didn't see it on screen, but Kiddis looked like he took a big lunge there and actually got past Randall for a short amount of time. You know, he only just needs to miss that pass, as we see Weston getting passed by Burns out of the hairpin there.
So now the casino straight now we come, and for Mackenzie, there's a bit of gap that's just started to build here. 3 seconds just about up to P2 into Shane Randall, and then it's a further 5.5 seconds to the race leader. Degoe coming into pit lane, nearly collects him.
What's going on there? Wow, that could have been the end of his championship run right there. Wonder what happened there. I mean, you carry probably a bit more speed because of that straight line pit, but wow, that was huge. That could have been absolutely catastrophic for Reece there. It
could have been, and luckily it wasn't. And that then, you know, it comes down to, you know, if a driver finds themselves in that position, Brett, you know, throughout this race, and you're behind a driver as you're trying to battle for position, but you want to come in pit lane, and pit lane's right on the braking zone, maybe the smarter choice is you just lift off just a little bit, or you take a less fast run out of the corner to give yourself some breathing room in case they are actually going to continue on for another lap. That way you're not going to pressurize yourself and put yourself in a position that you can maybe hit them on the exit. As Kiddis now going to be side by side with Degoe here. Should have a good run though out of turn 2 on the warmer tyres. Then the 518 Camaro drag race gets ahead, and Kiddis stays ahead of Reece Degoe after the pit stop period. And for Kiddis, actually, he had nearly 4 second slower pit stop than what Degoe did. So he's actually had a good gain out of this thanks to that slowdown debacle with Paul Burns that actually held up Reece Degoe.
Yeah, Paul Burns just dropped a couple of spots there. So I wonder if he might have had another slowdown there. I just want to give a quick shout out to Michael Jones, up 22 spots at the moment.
Great effort.
On lap 10, so that was a pretty good effort.
It's a great effort there from the man who started at the back end of the field here tonight. Randall is now into pit lane for his first scheduled stop of the race. There we see Mick Clifton in behind as well, following him, as has Paul Burns. So now we've got to focus on Kiddis and Degoe to see where they end up in comparison to the 501, because this is the pack he was battling with prior to the pit stops. We'll see if Kiddis has managed to make any gains here on the 501 Mustang through the pit stop period.
Joel Osterwald just dropping a couple of spots there and then coming back up again. So Hoffman and Osterwald just having a bit of a tussle there.
Randall, Burns, Clifton, Bush, Monday all into pit lane. Randall still stationary. It's 26 second stop, so it's 2 seconds faster than what Kiddis's was. Remembering that Randall will come out right into turn 2. Has he managed to hold him off? He has, and he's managed to get out ahead of Roy Clark as well. So Clark's jumped the other cars in behind, but he had a significantly shorter stop. And Randall's now put a car between himself and Kiddis, and crucially, he's got 2 cars between himself and Reece Degoe. A couple of cars behind him.
Wow, this is building. You just feel, I mean, Damon out in front at the moment from Mackenzie, nearly 9 seconds at the moment. I know there's a little bit of a thing there to happen then when he comes into pit, so that'll be normalised. But there's a lot of people up. Fair way. So Bruce Tenek up 15 at the moment. Andrew Galley up 13. Matty Stoyles up 15, Todd Duggan up 15. Obviously, still got to do their pits and stuff like that, so that'll will change when that actually happens.
Well, Stoyles and Duggan are now into pit lane as well. This is critical lap now. Lap 11 was the critical lap to get home on fuel, so those cars who've come in before then have hopes that if there is a safety car, they can do their final pit stop of the race and get home from this point onwards. So they're trying to mitigate anything that could possibly happen. Significantly short stop as well on the first run through for Stephen Kokoschke. 21.74 seconds was the stop for Stephen on that last run through. So that's found himself roughly around about 9 seconds ahead of Randall on the road now, when in that battle on the podium, leading forward to the next portion of this race.
Stoyles and Duggan coming into pits now. So the longest pit stop so far has been Mick Clifton with a 32.14, and then further Phil Manuel with a 33.62.
We'll see where the strategies come. Damon Fisher, our race leader, has got a 9-second gap over Scott McKenzie at this stage. Both of them need a pit stop though, but again, Brett, he's put himself in a position that Fisher could take a pit stop for free now, basically, as McCune's had a struggle out of pit lane in not running his regular livery here tonight, it seems. But as Fisher now comes into, although he would normally run the Camaro, so maybe he just doesn't have it on the Mustang. Fisher now into pit lane. So again, 9 or 10 seconds is the gap back to McKenzie. Relatively speaking for Fisher, he could probably take an extra 9 seconds of fuel now. This is going to offset him brilliantly into the next stint.
Be interesting to see how long his pit takes. I'll keep my eyes on that.
Well, if he's noticed what the gap is, he'll be taking roughly 30 seconds of fuel. That's what he'll be doing. And that would be the smart play for Fisher, because what that's going to do is he's going to come out around about Kokoschke, Randall area, right? But he's going to have a significant time advantage in the next stop. So no matter where he is on track, he's going to gain, say to Randall, 4 seconds of time if this is going to be a 30-second stop.
27,
so it's growing.
28, 29, 30 seconds, 30.58, yeah.
So he's now going to gain 4.5 seconds on the next stop onto Randall as he exits pit lane now. So, for Randall, with Fisher now coming out of pit lane, if he does actually get ahead of him, which he doesn't need to get ahead of him, he could let Fisher stay ahead. Well, he is actually going to battle him here. For Randall, though, he doesn't need to battle this. He doesn't need to battle Damon. He can let him go. It does not matter. But I think he may just be hoping that he can push on, build some gap, and maybe at a later point let Damon past.
Look, it puts another car between him and De Goey at this stage.
It does.
And we know Damon's been fast, so, it just depends on whether Damon actually starts to pressure the back of Randall once his tyres come up to pressure and temperature. And then he'll have to make that choice whether he needs to just let him go or keep that little gap between himself and De Goey.
So
Randall looked like he almost ran a little bit wide there coming over that.
Yeah. And I think, maybe the car's filling his mirrors. Could there be some pressure building on the Blackheart Designs Mustang as Mackenzie's in, Galley's in, Horsell in as well. So we suspect Viger, Hedersheed, Jones, Blanchard will all follow them as well. As Roy Clark and Alex Kidderson make contact down at the hairpin.
Oh.
Major contact down there. And now
that's going to be a couple of things happen there. The cars between Randall and De Goey now is only one.
Yep, that's right. So Randall's got to make a choice. He's got 3 seconds back to De Goey. So De Goey's not in tow range right now. He's got a choice. He's either going to try and hold Fisher behind him and hope that De Goey doesn't catch up, or he's going to let Damon pass, tuck him behind him and let him drag him ahead. If it were me, I would let Damon pass. At this point, though, it's up to Shane. It's his championship season. It's up to him to decide what he wants to do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, I mean, he's got to run his own race. I mean, see, sometimes some people feel more comfortable out in front and controlling the narrative, or then some people actually feel more comfortable behind the leading car, knowing that they're just chasing and they can take the pressure off. So depends on where you actually prefer to be on the track yourself.
We've had a comment from Roy Clark in the chat saying when the only way AK can pass is by punting the car in front mid-corner, apparently. So I suppose we'll see how that incident actually happened when we go to the post-race highlights at the end of the night and see how every little incident happens across the race.
Not having a crack at anyone, but I've actually been I've felt that myself. Is that too much of a comment? But I think
it's a free space and it's live TV, Brett. So
Yeah, and I've just done that. So, but I mean, oh geez, that was almost again. That was almost again. But what I would like to say is, look, Alex Kiddis can run fast. He's a fast driver, but unfortunately, I think he just needs to clean up a couple of things. To be quite honest.
So
ultimately,
as someone who doesn't race with him on track, Brett, from what I see from Alex, right? Alex has fantastic speed on the road, and he's had some great, nice, clean races this season. I think ultimately, though, the screws that need to be tightened is still the racecraft. That is the one thing that is holding him back right now.
100%.
And I think when he learns that and he tightens the screws on it and he cleans it up a little bit, and again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're punting people left, right, and centre when I say that. It can even be changing how you approach racing and changing where you position your car on track each week can change how you view the race.
Roy Clark out sideways there. The one thing I'd like to say is that I think it's the fact is that Kiddis actually has pace, and he probably just hasn't adjusted when he's behind certain people. He's not adjusting his driving. We've got Todd Duggan around in the fence there. Kiddis is not adjusting his driving to other people's racing and other people's driving style. Someone might brake a little bit earlier. So Kiddis is expecting to sort of drive harder into the corner where he needs to come off that a little bit earlier. That's what racing is, and then you've got to try and find your way around someone. Just maybe he's just getting caught out, and I'm not making excuses, but maybe he's just getting caught out, not breaking his normal braking points, as I say.
I think that we often talk about the importance of actually getting race practice in, but also actually practicing around a pack of cars as well. I think that's very important in how you actually approach your racing too, is learning and practicing battling with people. Even if it's your own
on Randall at the moment too. Sorry to
right
cut
on
off
him.
there.
No, it's okay. He's right on him at this stage. He's been on him now for the last few laps. So Damon is continuing now to pressure Shane Randall here for P2. And again, at this point, Shane's going to make a choice. He's got to choose. Does he let him go or does he defend him? He's got a 2.7 second gap back to the Goey. So if he does it at the right time, he could let him go and not give up too much time. And again, just follow Damon. Because Damon's got great pace tonight. I think he could hang with him.
Well, I think the thing is too, if Damon's got pace, Damon's not in the championship at the moment. I mean, he's in the championship, but he's not really a contender for the championship. But so he's got nothing to lose. Now, Randall, if he finds that pressure just a little bit too much, I'd let him go and follow him. Just let Damon go through and just chase him, knowing the fact that Damon's got pace.
He doesn't need to battle him, ultimately. He doesn't need to battle Damon. Now, knowing that Reese made contact as he came into pit lane with Mackenzie, that tells me that he's probably got a 2X on his name now, or a 1X. So that means he's no longer running a 0X race.
Randall just locked the brakes there.
He did.
Yeah,
he
Randall's
did.
locked the brakes there, and Damon sort of tried to go the inside, but then backed out of it there too. So Randall's lucky Damon didn't shove it up the inside then. And this is what I mean, if Randall starts to feel the pressure and making a few mistakes here and there, he might be better to just let Damon go and take that pressure off himself, because he's still got that gap to go at the moment. How good is this though? Second and fourth, the championship contenders, the main contenders are at the moment. Lap 17 to 46 at the moment. Here at, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of the track.
Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised I get Kokoschki right.
You know what? You've done well to do so, Brett.
I know.
Joe Lucival now into pit lane for his final stop of the season, it seems. So he's now coming to pit road for his final scheduled stop. Kiddis continues to battle away here with Ben Brook, Brett Taylor, Paul Burns. So Brett Taylor tonight could gain some good points on you, Brett, in the Battle of the Bretts this season. You've got some work to do to make up some spots here. Brett Horsall as well, they're both ahead of you. And it's radio silence from Brett Fisher.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Well, I wasn't eating that time. I was actually just reading the comments.
Ah, I see. I was saying that both Brett Taylor and Brett Horsall are making some good points gains on you at this stage of the evening. But you've got some work to do here to try and fight your way forward to hold on to that Battle of the Bretts championship that you won last season.
Yeah, well, that's right. I'm just, look, at the moment, I qualified poorly. I was faster than that, and unfortunately didn't qualify nowhere near as where I thought I might have, and just trying to push my through. I was happy if I can get into the top 15 tonight, I'll be absolutely wrapped.
There's been some great gains thus far as well, Brett, off of the pit stops now having occurred. So DeGoey's up 3, Weston up 3, Clark up 4, Taylor up 7 into the top 10, Stoyles up 9, Cesar up 4 into P16 at this stage. That earlier pit stops helped him. Fisher, Brett, you're up 6, Monday up 8, McCune up 7, Jones up 8 as well. Oostervall, we're not sure where his actual gain is because he has now taken his second stop. We'll have to wait and see to see where he does actually end up, as Fisher continues now to pressurise the back of Shane Randall's car. And again, DeGoey will be loving this right now, although he's lost about a second across the last lap. So for Randall, at this point now, with that gap now, you just let Damon go and you guys push ahead. I think that's got to be the play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, keep going. And I just think, it's interesting. Look, this is the way it's going to fold out at the moment. Let's see whether Damon looks like he's in attack mode still there. The attitude on that car, the car's looking very, very stable. So he's driving that thing really confidently. He comes out of there and he's actually closing the gap down to 1.3. He has a look on the outside. Does he cut across back on the inside? Front rotor's glowing big time there. Damon got a really quick midsection of that corner there.
And he's got a good run as well. Will he go for it at the Wall of Champions? Well, it looks like the championship leader's going to try and cover the inside down towards the final chicane. Is he going to force Fisher to the outside? Fisher has to back out of it. And Randall continues to defend this position. And again, the question beckons, why? Why defend it? You don't need to.
I think if he's starting to defend his position on track at the moment, that's time I think you just got to let him go. Because, say, too many things can come unstuck, just in case, you get squeezed into a corner two side by side where they don't go, there's contact and someone goes spinning off. That's the end of your championship. So, I'm not in that seat, so I don't know. And races are going to race, so, and they don't want to be passed by anybody. Yeah.
Well, I think as well that, maybe we need to, think about it this way, right? Maybe there's one little semblance of hope here for Randall that he's hoping for. And what he's hoping for is maybe for Stephen Kokoschke to get to lap 26, come in and pit. Randall will take the race lead and he'd get an extra point for leading a lap. Is that maybe what he's aiming for? But the problem is he's got to survive, 7 laps ahead of Fisher, who is all over him like a blanket, with DeGoey beginning to chase them down.
Well, and that's what I'm getting at. Is what's the lesser of two evils? See again. Shane's defending hard there. Damon's run fairly wide. Oh, geez, what happened on the exit there? Did he get hooked up on the turn?
I think he might have.
At this point, he's just getting a little bit. Coming a little bit unstuck, and I just sort of think, is it worth copping that pressure? See, here again, he's just got the nose out in front, but is it worth having that fight where, now DeGoey's now closing up that gap under a second now, so they're losing time. So this has brought DeGoey back into the fight.
It has. It's starting to drag him back into it now, so he's now within a second, and he's within drafting range as well. So, and again, as we said, ultimately doesn't need to battle Damon, but he wants to battle him at this point in time. So I
think it's now too late.
It is.
Now
It's too
Randall
late. Now he has to
fight.
battle him. He has to try
He
and
has
build the
to
gap.
fight.
He has to
Yeah,
hope
exactly.
that Reese maybe decides to try and attack Damon to hold him up, and then he starts to build more gap and just buries them both further behind him.
Yeah. But I think at this point, Reese is just going to go. He's probably going to try and get close as he can, but I don't know whether Reese is going to actually attack Damon all that much, because he's going to try and protect his championship as much as possible there too. I mean, I can only surmise what's going through these guys' minds at this point, but same again, Damon's got nothing to lose. So, you know, if I was to go, I'd probably sit where he is now, stay in contact and just keep an eye on what's going up in front.
Well, that's right, and you know the
Randall defending
good
again.
The person that this is actually starting to benefit now is Stephen Kokoschki.
Yeah.
You mentioned in the chat earlier on, he needs 17 seconds back to Damon Fisher to maintain the race lead after the pit stops. Guess what? He's half a second away from that 17-second marker that he needs. So for Kokoschki, he's loving the fact that Randall's holding up Fisher here by battling with him. And what this is allowing is it's dragging Degoe into it. And if this turns into a triple threat, it's going to hold them up even more. And Kokoschki could run away with things tonight and get his second win of the season, become only the second driver this season to get 2 wins, the other of which was Chad Weiger earlier on in the championship running. So for Randall, he's got to try and survive this battle as best he can. And again, mitigate mistakes. You know, contact could happen. You can end up off the road, and all of a sudden, championships kaput. So, you know, that's another thought process.
So easy, doesn't it?
It does.
Absolutely easy. Yeah. Manual in pits at the moment.
Roy Clark with a jab at Reese Degoe in the chat there, saying I thought Degoe was driving smart at this point. But although there might actually be a commentary on actually how Reese is actually driving at this stage, because I do think he's driving very smart. He doesn't need to push at this point in time. He just needs to hang on to Shane. If he can hang on to him and latch onto him, he's going to put him and set himself up for a really, really good opportunity at the end of the race to get past him. Ultimately, though, for Reese, he needs a driver between him and Shane to win the championship, because if he draws, Shane will win on countback because he's had more top 10s than what Reese has. So that's the main issue. Bit of a lock-up. That's going to let Damon in. So Damon will look to come down on the inside. You have to wonder if Reese Degoe is going to hook up behind Damon here to get the position for free, because you wouldn't want to be hanging behind the 501 if he's caught on the outside line down here at turn 13.
It looks like Degoe's almost up beside Randall at the moment, and he is. This is going to be interesting. Oh, now he goes on the inside of Damon. Jeez, that was close. Randall and Degoe side by side coming through the corner of champions, whatever the hell that thing is. Wall of champions. Now Degoe just out in front at the moment. Randall just trying to hold on to that spot right on the back left-hand bumper. He's pushing it right in there. This is make or break stuff at the moment. Damon's got clear. Randall just taps the back of Degoe.
So just trying to let him know he's still there and pushing on. And right now, if they finished how they are, it'll be tied on points going to the end of the race.
And Degoe actually has played that perfectly. I think he just sat back, watched what was happening, and he just put himself in the box seat. And I think Degoe's played this absolutely perfectly so far in this race. Now Randall's on the back foot.
So well. He's played this so well to this point in time, and he's picking up the little 1%ers that Shane's dropped over that last part of the stint. So now Shane's going to try and regroup, and come back at him again across the final stint of this race. They're not too far away from their final pit stop of the season, and Shane's now going to start doing the maths in his head of how he needs to try and attack this. He's maybe going to go for the lunge at turn 10. He wasn't quite close enough to get alongside. And now it's to try and maximise the exit once again. So push on and see what happens. But right now, as it stands, Brett, they're tied on points, and Shane would win on count back due to the fact. We may need to actually ask Bruce this of how they actually determine the count back system. For my mind, it would go to who's got more of the notable stats on SimRace Hub. So if one of them has a win, they would then get the over. So if they have more top 5s, if they have more top 10s, if it's going that way, right now, it was real wide. If it's going that way, it would be Shane would be the champion on count back by having one more top 10 than what Reece has at this stage.
Has Randall got a little bit of damage on his the right-hand side
wonder
of
if he
that car
does.
as well?
He might do.
Just looked a little bit out of shape there. But see, I mean, Goey's still, I think, in the box seat. The pressure's off at the moment. He's in front of Randall. You know he's got the pace. Now, Randall is he is the one under the pump. He is the one under the thigh here. And I think Randall really missed his opportunity to stay out in front. He should have let Damon go. I mean, it's easy enough for me to sit here and say that, but I just think that was a missed opportunity. He should have let Damon go, let him run and follow him, and just hopefully that gap improved. But now he's got the pressure of actually DeGoey actually pulling away at the moment. He's about a second in front of Randall. So this is, and in Scotty Weston in the back of Randall. So same. Scotty Weston's not going to be shy of actually having a crack at Randall.
And Scotty's doing a fantastic job here tonight as well. So we await Stephen Kokoschki to come into pit lane. He should be one of our first stoppers of the second stop period, based on that 21.74 fuel cell or fuel fill that he has on board that car. So he's not going to be able to go nearly as long as these guys. Fisher, in fact, is going to be able to go the longest at a 30.5 second pit stop, then we would suspect DeGoey would be, Weston would be the next to come in, so would Clark, then it would be DeGoey, then Randall could go the next longest. But there's about 1.5 seconds between Randall and
Hoffman
DeGoey.
and Viger having a battle down further,
Oh, they are. They're having a big battle further down here.
They were side by
as
side there
Hoffy's
for a
in
second.
amongst this tight pack with Gilles and Tanek, and then Viger at the front of it. Let's keep an eye on this battle actually across this lap, because this looks to be a tasty little four-way pack. And these guys are doing well together. There. He did big lock up. He tries to go up the inside of Viger. Oh.
Tanek having a look on Andrew Gilles there as well.
He's having a big look. And they filter back in again. Viger tucks in behind Hoffman now for turn 3 and 4. Gilles looks to be on the move. Watch for Brett Fisher in the background. He's starting to lurk, is Brett.
Oh, go me.
There it is. I need a sound clip that, Brett. I love hearing you say go me.
Inside here.
Oh, inside of 6. Outside of 7 on this contact.
Yeah.
Oh, Galley's been pushed out there. Was there netcode contact or what? It looked very violent the way it reacted.
Yeah.
And that's allowed Tanek just to push on through. He did have overlap though, so I don't suspect there'd be a penalty coming. So even if there was netcode or not, a bit hard to really say that he would be at fault there. He had plenty of overlap coming into turn 7.
And that gets me one closer to the Battle of the Bretts. Yeah. Oh, Brett Taylor and Brett Horsell way up in front of me at the moment, so they're having a great run this round.
Fantastic job. And again, you're just trying to mitigate your points gap right now, Brett. Just hang with them.
Oh, yeah.
And doing a fantastic effort at this stage of the race as well. Mackenzie, tight battle here with Matt Stoyles. They got Horsell in behind them too. So there's a couple of your compatriots within the Battle of the Bretts classification here, Brett, in this little four-way battle pack.
Going well.
Yeah, they're racing really hard, racing really well at this stage. Andrew Gilles, by the way, off that contact's actually now dropped back to P21 and is now tucked up in a battle with Hedesheed Monday and McCune. So he's dropped a bit of pace off that contact.
I was just going to say, Hedesheed really hasn't, he hasn't set the world on fire tonight, to sort of like come up to this end of the championship. So unfortunately for him, he's at this stage of the race, he's not really in any contention there. And so Kokoschki having a crack, so he's still out in front. In 19 seconds, he's in pit lane now.
So Stephen Kokoschki is going to come out in a hell of a position right now, because he has got enough time here to cover his fuel. If Damon Fisher were to come in pit lane right now, Kokoschki would actually exit pit road earlier than Fisher will. We spoke about the advantage that Fisher had by getting his initial gap on the field. Well, this has now made it null and void, and now that battle is on the time clock. It's on the timing tower. That battle is happening. And for Kokoschki, he's got to try and pull out some ripper laps, as does Damon Fisher. As DeGoey now has got Randall right up behind him once again into turn 2. You see Randall there just trying to pressure the back of that Camaro. Remind him that he's right there.
These guys are absolutely fighting for this championship. You know, we saw the early part, Randall in front of DeGoey, but DeGoey is now taking the lead over Randall.
Yep.
On track.
Well,
I'm not going to work out points and stuff like that.
As it sits right now, DeGoey would be leading the championship by 1 point.
1 point,
if they were to finish how they currently are, he would be winning the championship by 1 single point. So it's, you know, neither of them have won a race all season. They've got Damon Fisher to contest with if they want to win their first race of the season ahead of them.
And he's driving well.
He's driving very well. He looks his best he's been all season. These last few rounds, Damon Fisher has been the class of the field in terms of pure pace and racing ability. Big lock brakes. He wanted the move there. DeGoey squeezed just slightly. And
Weston
Randall's
goes
now
through. Does he hold it?
He's held on to it for now.
Oh,
but that's a big lock up. That was a massive lock up.
That was nearly side contact with Scotty Weston on the way out there too. So that could have been catastrophic. Jeez,
it could have been.
There's some moments throughout this race that are really edgy. You know, they could have just swung either way.
He's straight in.
And Weston in pits.
Yeah, he's straight in. He knows that he's given up time there. He may as well come straight in pit lane, get this car fueled up and push on to the end.
And Clark in pits as well.
Yep. So the three of them have now come in. Kiddis will come past with Burns and Brooke and Taylor and McKenzie all in behind them as well. So our now previous championship leader, as it currently stands, is into pit lane. His teammate comes past, Halil Sezel. We spoke about his small little gains tonight after poor qualifying. He was up 4 positions prior to the pit stop period. And now he continues to push on and up the order as well. And now the thought process might need to start here, Brett. You know, what can Shane do to try and get back past DeGoey towards the end of this race?
Yeah, well, I don't know whether Randall will be kicking himself at the moment for losing out to DeGoey in that middle sector, 27 laps of 46 here at the moment. So I think he just needs to start and consolidate his round and just get his mind back in the game. I just feel like he's just not necessarily made mistakes as we see someone slowing there. Who was that?
I'm not sure actually who that was that they've just come past.
Oh, that might be Hoffman.
He might have had a slowdown. That might have been a slowdown there for Hoffy.
So, yeah, I think Randall just needs to probably just get his head back in the game. I'm not saying he hasn't, but, you know, just needs to get his head back in the game, settle in and see what he can do. And then, I mean, DeGoey at this stage has played the game beautifully. Like, he's just taken the pressure off himself. He's giving himself gap to cars around him. He's just, as we see, coming into pit lane now. So this is going to all unfold here now.
So this will be
Paul Burns in pits as well.
This will be possibly either a counteractive pit stop, or this is his scheduled time to come into pit lane, trying to counter an undercut possibility for the 501 car coming in. Last stop was
Brett Taylor in pits as well.
So Burns in DeGoey in, Taylor in, Clifton, Hoffman and Blanchard as well. So Randall now has got to try and push on.
How exciting is all this so far? What a fantastic bit of racing we've had here so far tonight.
And so as Randall now pushes on to this next lap, DeGoey is exiting now. Is he going to remain ahead of him? It's going to be close. There's Randall into turn 1. DeGoey's going to come out ahead of him.
Yeah.
So he remains a position ahead.
Yeah. So that, I think Randall had a 2-second buffer on DeGoey, but he's lost that further in pits.
He has indeed. So Randall's lost some serious time now in terms of the pit stops there, and there we see DeGoey in the chat. He's just told us, and it was a covering stop, so he noticed that Shane came in. And he's tried to cover the undercut by coming in the lap later. A smart move there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
A smart play for DeGoey.
That's it. Like DeGoey has really, so far tonight, DeGoey's impressed me with the way he's actually played this game. And I say play the game, not as in the racing being a game. Be very careful of that. But the game of chess that we play on the board tonight. Kiddis Brooke in pit lane.
They're both in pit lane now as well. Cesar's in too. So,
yeah, Randall had a slowdown there
did.
apparently.
So I wonder now, right? So one thing that may get played here, and we'll watch Cesar in pit lane, and we'll talk about it for a second. The one thing that may be at play here to try and put pressure back onto Goey is there is the world that Cesar short stops and commits to a 3-stop to get out ahead of Goey to try and slow him up and push him back into Shane. That is a possibility that could happen right now. As Cesar exits pit lane, there's Goey about to come past. He has had a shorter stop. 12 seconds was the stop for Halil Cesar. So he's coming out of pit lane, so he's trying to pull the tactic here of going for a 3-stop. His championship doesn't matter, so he's trying to play the team game now to get that car ahead of De Goey to try and slow him up. And so then the question comes back to that we were speaking about earlier with Shane and Damon.
Yeah.
Does Reese need to battle him?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same. I mean, Cesar really does. He's not really concerned about the championship. And this could be the first time, the pressure's been put back onto Randall. Reese. So this will be interesting to see how this unfolds. So, like we talked about before, Damon really not having any battle in the championship, but still wanting to get a good result.
Well, yeah. So for Cesar right now, so he's taken a shorter stop than he's taken a 12-second stop, Brett. So he's taken a shorter stop than what he would have needed. So he's taken a tactical stop here to try and get this car around De Goey to pressure him, maybe get past and try and slow him down.
Just runs a little bit wide there.
Yep. So he's trying to put pressure on him now. So again, De Goey's got a car 4 position between himself and Shane. We spoke about it earlier with Shane. Didn't need to battle Damon. Does Reese need to battle Halil right now? Because ultimately, Halil's not going to be able to go nearly as long as what Reese does. Eventually, he's going to have to come into pits. And eventually he's going to be out of Reese's way. So does he need to hold him off as Pete Baxter's now in pit lane? Does he need to hold him off? Or would it be the better choice to just let him go?
Well, I mean, the other thing is too that, as you said, that Cesar's taken an early stop, that might be playing on Reese's mind as well. Maybe that, he knows that Cesar's behind him, so that if Cesar gets in front of him, he might hold him up. So maybe that's one thing that De Goey's probably just saying, you know what, I need to stay out in front of him because that way I'm in control, not Cesar.
Well, that's that's true. He might want to try and defend him as well, but what Halil's just done is he's trying to pull a team tactic at this point in time, which we see in racing all the time, where he's trying to pressure his teammate's main contender at this point. Yeah. And trying to race him at this point as well to hold him up. I mean that's what he's trying to do. He's
closing that gap there too. He's going to have a look on the inside of here. And side by side, Cesar comes out.
They're still side by side off that corner as well.
De Goey's got it. He's got it back.
He's holding on.
De Goey defending for his life here at this stage. Cesar having a battle. Horsell in pits, Tannick in pits, and Fisher in pits.
So they're all in. So we'll see where Damon ends up now after this stop, whether he remains ahead.
Oh, Cesar right on the back of De Goey.
He's all over him. And he's still trying to cover as well. Reese explaining, he's thinking in the chat too, it was his thinking that, Halil would have backed him up into Shane. And so he's trying to hold him off. But again, it's that tough balancing act. They're hard racing at this point. Halil would have had a couple of laps to hold him up. But, ultimately that's the play that he's trying to do right now.
Yeah, but I think Reese is playing it smart again, knowing the fact that he's got a teammate of Randall's behind him. He's not trying to take that chance of letting him in front for pushing him back to him. So I think he's making the right choice at this stage. Although, if it becomes too dangerous, maybe back out. So you don't destroy your championship. But we'll see as it unfolds. Cesar on the inside, dives it right up there. Reese running a little bit wide there.
Yep, all Caesar with a little wiggle. Oh, they've come across each other and ran.
No.
Oh, De Goey's in the wall.
Oh. Yeah, that's just unfortunate that, oh, what a shame. What an absolute shame. It just unfortunate that Cesar's car got sideways there and looked like he got hooked up onto the back of De Goey and turned De Goey around there. And that's a shame. That's a shame because well, looking forward to seeing how the battle between De Goey and Randall was going to fire out. That car is really hurt.
It is.
That car is really hurt.
And it, you said it right, Brett. It is a real shame.
Yeah, I mean, because thus far, up to this point, I think, we've got
Clark and
Kokoski.
Kiddis about to
we've
go.
got Kiddis and Roy Clark.
Yeah. So
Now, this brings a safety car out. This might help. Well, it's not going to help a huge amount, but yeah.
Yeah, so
that car's the world ahead.
Yeah, these guys are stuck, so this may actually bring the safety car out. No, you said it right, Brett, that it is a real shame. And as we saw with that, and again, we'll look back at it in the post-race highlights. I'll show it as many times as we want to show it back. For that to happen, it's a heart-wrenching way for the championship battle to end. It's ultimately really unfortunate for Reece. Ultimately, it's so unfortunate for Reece.
Yeah,
and as Weiger, Galley, and Jones are all in.
I mean, look, we could see what was happening side by side. Kiddis and Roy Clark still going at it here. There's a bit of an angst amongst those two.
There is.
What I was going to say is that Reece. I could see what Reece was sort of trying to think, and I think he clarified that. And knowing the fact is that if I let Cesar pass, it's going to cause a little bit of an issue for me being held up.
Yeah.
So we could see that was sort of building. Yeah. It was a fantastic race thus far for the championship. There was an absolutely massive battle. To and fro. There was absolutely the script was being written beautifully.
It was.
As far as I was concerned, and it was just unfortunate. I don't think Randall, by the look of it, meant to do that deliberately. There was definitely no deliberate. It's just unfortunate. I think the car got out sideways and it's actually just pushed him side into De Goey.
Yeah.
I understand what was going on track, and I think we all do. And it's just unfortunate that happened. I would have liked to have seen, obviously everyone would have liked to have seen the battle on track. And the same with Shane. I'm sure he would have liked to have seen the battle finish on track as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's Stephen Kokoski in chat saying racing is racing, and there's multiple sides to this. Obviously, there's Reece's side and how he feels. There's Halil and Shane's side and how they feel. There's our side as broadcasters and how we feel, and there's my side as a team owner and how I feel that played out.
Yeah, 100%.
And ultimately, when that happened, my heart genuinely broke. I was on the verge of tears when that moment happened, because I wanted, for the way that Shane and Reece have driven this season and how close that championship battle was coming into tonight, I wanted them to do it on track. I wanted them to battle on track for it. I seriously did. And
it was building to be an absolute, rip snorter.
And it's racing is about opinions. Everyone has opinions, right?
Of course.
And we'll watch back through the incident once again, and I'm going to give so many different angles for everyone out there, so we can look back at it, and everyone can build an opinion not based on a single look at it.
And look, if I would like to put out there too, if Reece is in the chat, and I know he's in the chat, if he wants to, I'd love to actually have a bit of a chat with Reece, and if Shane's around, Shane as well, after the race is done, just to sort of, probably not maybe clear the air and have a bit of a yarn about the whole thing and that all sort of stuff too. But we've still got a race to go. 34 laps of 46 here at the moment. We were watching myself. Have a look at that car. What a guy. In 21st spot at the moment. just trying to bring the mood back up a little bit here. How many spots? I'm up 6 spots, so I'm going all right at the moment. I've still got a bit to go to where I'd like to be, but anyway. But look at Michael Jones in 8th spot, up 28 spots, so he's having a cracker. He's really, as you said before, I think Jones is someone to watch next year.
And he's tightly battling right now with Ben Booker and Paul Burns amongst this top 10 as well. And again, you know, Ben's had a great race tonight. Paul's doing very well as well. You know, onto lap 35, 46 at this point too. Reese is happy to come and have a chat to us post-race as well. I believe
awesome.
Shane's going to come have a chat to us as well.
I think that'd be great, just to have your yarn and all that sort of stuff. So,
and you know, we'll be able to talk about it more post-race, obviously, once the race is finished and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Jones having a look inside of Brooke here.
He's
got
having
a nice
crack
move
at him.
Done there.
Michael is having a real crack at him, and he's got that job done. As Michael Jones been super impressive throughout season 26 and leading into season 27 as well. He is going to be one to watch for next season. If he gets again those 1%ers tightened up, he is going to be a man to beat next season. That will be a slowdown. That might be a slowdown for him. Yeah, he did. That's a major off track.
That's a 5%er there.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, the last few seasons, or the seasons that I've been calling with you, Hamish, have been fantastic. And we've seen some really, really good racing going on as Brookie comes back in.
Andrew Gilles was just off the road then. Yeah, he's just continued on.
Yeah, actually, I know what happened there. He got the first curb, and actually the car bounced and set him in the wall there. So that was a big off for Andrew, unfortunately. There's been some absolutely fantastic racing going on this season, and we've had some really, really good seasons before. And I just get the feeling that again, this next season is going to be even tighter than what it has been this one. So I'm really looking forward to, and I've already spoken to you about it, and I'm happy to commit to the next season, and hopefully for many more after it as well. So
I hope so as well. It's been spectacular over this first year period we've been together. Alex Kiddis is on the side of the road. Something's happened to Kiddis' car.
Oh, he's facing the wrong way.
Yeah, that car is trapped there, and it's got a blown engine. This could be a safety car late in the race, which is going to tighten the whole field back up once again. Kokoschki comes past him. He's got 5.5 second gap back to Damon Fisher, and if the safety car's called, this is going to shrink that gap completely.
Come on, shrink it up. So to go in pits at the moment, 2 laps down at the moment. So obviously he's possibly used his fast repair, and that thing is being sorted out. So that's unfortunate there for Degoe. But are we going to see a safety car? And Kokoschki in.
He's into pit lane, is Kokoschki. So he's come in to maybe get a fresh set of tyres on board this car to make a maximum assault at the end of this race. The problem's going to be, though, he's going to give up some track position to Fisher, to McKenzie, to Randall, and I think possibly to Weston and Burns as well.
Okay, so now, safety car's out. So now, obviously, Reese's, the championship is blown wide open. Well, not blown wide open. It's actually narrowed up the other way around.
For Shane, he just has to make the end of the race now, and he'll win the championship. So that's where that lies.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is that, where are we not? Are we at 75% yet?
We are. We're past 75. 75% of 46 was lap 34.5. So Reese is on lap 33. So he needs to make another lap and a half to get to 75% to get points to solidify P2 in the championship.
So, and as safety cars do, they always provide the guys with a little bit of time to sort of have a bit of a think and cool down and all that sort of stuff. And also, I think it tends to sort of, with less than 10 laps to go, this is going to be a sprint to the finish now. Desperate times come for desperate measures, and those times are closing up. So I'm sure we're going to see some action in these closing laps now.
It is going to be a wild wild run home to the end of this race.
Yeah.
And you guys don't want to miss any of this action. Season 27 is coming your way in a few weeks' time. The 26th of March, we're racing once again. Round 1, currently penciled in for Mount Panorama Bathurst for Season 27. It is going to be absolutely huge. It's going to be live once again, or live with the replay broadcast, once again, right here on the V8 Veterans channel for Split 2 action, as well as over on Infinity Broadcasting. As well, the Split 3 and Split 4 action right here on the V8 Veterans channel as well, and Split 1 over on Simspeed TV. So be sure to help support all the broadcasts for each split. It helps the league out, helps us broadcasters out as well, and means we get to bring out some fantastic racing your way more and more. We've just clicked over 750 subscribers recently on the Vets channel, Brett, and we're etching closer and closer to 350 over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel as well.
Nice.
So it'd be a great help to us if you could help
like and
subscribe to us. Exactly right.
Like and subscribe.
We love for the Vets channel to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. That would be spectacular.
Yeah, bring it on. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Bring it on. What was I going to say? The 6 hour coming up towards the end of April. I'm going to go down to that. So, So I was going to go away camping, but fortunately or unfortunately for those people that are going to go to the 6 hour, I'm going to try and go down there. So that'll be good. I believe Gunter is going to be racing
yes, I would say Mr. Van Ree would likely be there as well.
Yes, I've heard that.
In support
and some
of
others.
That. Yes, indeed. Yep. Just to confirm as well, Reese to go is now back out on the racing surface too, so he is going for that 75% marker. He has to make the end of this next lap. So this is his 34th lap of the race beginning. He makes the end of this lap, he makes 75%, and he takes points home for Montreal here this evening. And so, yeah, that will what that will do is that will solidify him P2 in the championship. And again, more than likely will be one of a few drivers to go up to Split 1 next season. So what could happen, Brett? We've got we're on lap 38 of 46. We've got 8 laps to go the next time by. Should more than likely get into the restart zone on the next lap, on lap 39 of the race. So it'll be 8 to go. Fisher's had great pace tonight. Mackenzie's done well as well. I'm really impressed by Mackenzie tonight. Actually, he's kept himself nice and tidy.
Yeah.
Randall sits in a solid P3. Doesn't need the P3 at this point in time. He could finish further back in P15 and he'd still win the title at this stage. For Weston and Burns, it's point solidifying, and for Kokoschki, it's fresh tyres, trying to go for fastest lap of the race and maybe try to use the new tyre advantage to fight his way back to the front end of town and fight for the race win here in Montreal.
And I was just going to say, Michael Jones, we talked about, up 28 spots at the moment. What a fantastic run he's had so far. But look, Brett Horsell up 4 spots into P9. Fantastic run for Brett Horsell at the moment. And then going back down to Brett Taylor, because I was just talking about the Battle of the Brets. He's up 4 spots, having a good crack as well. So those boys have done quite well this round. It's good.
They have indeed. And they've done an exceptional effort here this evening out in Montreal once again. We're excited, obviously, to see where the Split 3 champion Nathan Favero will sit in the Split 2 field next season. I think he could be quite competitive amongst Split 2, knowing the dominance that he had this previous season in Split 3. Brett, I'm very excited to see what Nathan Favero can do coming into Split 2 next season. And again, where the likes of some previous Split 1 drivers or some new drivers coming in off of the waiting list. We've got 20 waitlist drivers coming in, where they will all situate and how that could dictate who goes up and how many go up for each split across the whole field. This could be one of the biggest shake-ups in V8 Veterans history. Adding 20 new drivers to the grid and where they are placed could completely change the game for every single split in the service of V8 Veterans. Pace cars in, and Damon Fisher has control of the field. When will he go green?
Yeah, just cruising along there. I'll tell you what, Jones was poking his nose out of line there, so and this is what happens. Safety car. Damon's gone. Here he goes through the wall of champions. Got that right this time.
He has indeed. Oh, little bit of a Did you have a blink at this stage, Brett?
I did, yes. We are running on my replay because Hamish forgot to save the replay.
I did.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what Brett rudely named the replay file? Hamish forgot to save. Thank you, Brett.
Get a kick out of that. I'll tell you what, Damon's done a great jump. He's got a good jump. Mackenzie's gone with him. Randall's about a second behind, but Jones is 4 seconds down. What a horrendous. But we've got some action.
Oh, we've got some massive action back there. Yeah. Kokoschki's car is dead.
Oh, no.
And he had those fresh tyres. Mick Clifton as well has been involved down there.
Paul Burns.
Multiple cars. Paul Burns was one of them. Oh, it is a real shame. Paul Burns with massive damage on the front of that car after a fantastic race. Michael Jones up 32 spots into P4, but if he had qualified tonight, he probably would have been up and around here anyway.
Probably, but it's still a good effort.
It's a great effort tonight. Bruce Tannick up 11 as well. Probably one of Bruce's cleanest runs to date in Split 2. It's been a very great race for Bruce Tannick. Now up 12 positions into P6. Maybe a contender for driver of the day here this evening.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, who was that? That was Hedersheed. Hedersheed really wild through turn 9. He's battling away here with Joel Oosterwolde. Tight battle.
What? See, told you, safety cars. That's what happens. Unbelievable. It condenses the field, and I tell you what, the pressure just goes through the roof. Everyone thinks they're a Formula One car driver with the most amount of aero.
They're all Lewis Hamilton, apparently, as they battle away. Fisher leads us across the line to begin lap 40 to Mackenzie, Randall, Jones, Brook the top 5, Tannick, Weston, Manuel, Horsell and Viger the top 10. With this battle for P12 heating up here between Stoyles, Hedersheed and Oosterwolde. They've got Chris Blanchard in behind them. Winner last time out at Miami. What a win that was. Over 1,000 days between race wins for Chris Blanchard. He finally tasted the simulated champagne in the sunny side of Miami before coming up to the wonderful Poutine-filled Quebec, Canada for Montreal action here tonight at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in the final round of the season. Unbelievable stuff here tonight for the last part of the season for Blanchard. But Fisher, though, the top 3 have broken away here from Michael Jones. 5.5 seconds is the gap for the podium back to P4.
So it looks like Mackenzie going to take it to Damon, see if he can hold, make something happen here. Randall's not out of it as well to go further up the ladder here. And last time around, Randall did the fastest lap of his race, 1:38.141. So he's not shy about putting that foot to the floor.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we mentioned that, I joked, I think it was last week, and I said, wouldn't it be the most Shane Randall way to win the championship without winning a race all season? But he could be in for the race win now. He's tucked up right behind P2 and P1. The win could be on if he can get it. It'd be his first race win in V8 Veterans. He's yet to take one here in the Veterans. And with 6 laps to go, it's a tight battle for the top 3 for the final win of season 26. And for Damon Fisher, he'll be hoping to try and lock away his, I believe, his first race win of the season. It would be his first race win of the season.
The car looks incredibly poised, though, doesn't it? I mean, we've talked about Damon before being, obviously having his internet issues, getting that sorted out. Starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Mackenzie at the moment, about 0.8 of a second. But the car is looking very, very poised. Just the way that this latter part of the season for him has gone, it's going to be a massive confidence builder going into next season. And the 226 car, 266 car that Damon's riding at the moment is going to be a force to be reckoned with next season. A lot of the other guys with the 266 team, they're all got pace. They've all had pace. But it just goes to show you how much closer this series has gotten. That we're seeing different people up at the top end of town throughout all of these races. So it just goes to show how much things are lifting. Damon going very defensive there.
He wants to try and cover off. He wants this race win. He'll be his first of the season and his first for his new team for 266. And he's got 5 laps to survive the onslaught of Scott McKenzie and Shane Randall in behind him. Further back, We see Bruce Tannick's now started to break away here from Ben Brook, who's back to where he started this race in P6. Scott Weston, Phil Manuel, Brett Horsell, Rick Viger, and Brett Taylor tightly tucked in behind him in this long train. Then it's a small gap back to Matty Stoyles with Heddersheed and Oosterval, Blanchard, McCune, Fisher and Monday in amongst this all as well with Andrew Galley. And it's a long line of cars as Cesar comes into pit lane for what we would have to assume could be a drive-through for that contact with Reese to go earlier on. But that was a long time they spent mulling over that incident, Brett. So I would say race control didn't see that one quite so clear-cut.
Yeah.
Ben Brook, how well's he been doing tonight, Brett? So
He's been
great
going-
from Ben Brook. Fantastic.
Yeah. He sort of just popped up there.
Well, Clark's asking if you have raves in Mudgee, Brett.
I've got definitely not. We don't have raves in Mudgee. Well, I live out of Mudgee, about 32 k's out of Mudgee in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. That was a bit nasty of me. Yeah, I live out. I don't know what's going on. I've lost my mind. Yeah, I live about 32 k's out of Mudgee, but it's more of a wine and food town, really. It's not really a rave town, definitely not.
Bush stuff town, by the sounds of it, Brett. It's a bush stuff town.
Yeah. Nothing much happens here. We don't even have a. There's not. Yeah, it's quite a boring town actually.
Good for a retirement.
Probably good for over 40s. Yeah.
We've got 4 laps to go here in season 26 to the end of this race here this evening. And for Damon Fisher, he's got 4 laps to survive at the top end of town. Brett Horsell doing well here in P9, just following tightly in behind Phil Manuel with Rick Viger on his tail inside of the top 10. Matt Stoyles has run a great season thus far as well. A couple of top 10s, even a top 5 here or there throughout this season as Roy Clark's in pit lane now. Possibly for a drive-through penalty as well, maybe for the contact with Alex Kiddis. But it has been top-level stuff all throughout season 26. And we can't just look at tonight on paper, Brett, and think about the race to go weed. Lots of weed apparently in Mudgee.
He's there. I don't know. Anyway. Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, we can't just look at tonight on paper. We have to look at the whole season, the last 9 rounds, and going from start to finish. And the narrative of the whole season has been consistency. Consistency has been the ultimate key. It's the key that brought Reese Goey and Shane Randall to the dance tonight. It's the key that brought them to the stage tonight as the top 2. Pure consistency. Neither of them with a race win. Most top 5s. And Randall with one more top 10 than what DeGoey had, but they were the top 2 for top 10 finishes leading into tonight's race. Now, to talk about the history-breaking moment that is going to happen within the next 3 laps for Shane Randall. So we've only ever had one previous champion win Split 2 without winning a race, but it was in a 9-round season. It was back in season 14 when the final round was cancelled due to iRacing maintenance. So that one there was a one-off. We never got to run the last round, so we don't exactly know how it was actually going to end if it was going to be a 10-round season. In terms of 10-round seasons, Shane Randall is about to become the first ever Split 2 champion to win the championship without ever winning a race. Not just in the season, Brett, at all. He'll become the first champion to have never won a race.
That's
in
pretty
Split
huge.
2. It's a massive achievement, and speaks levels and spades on how important consistency can be, regardless of what's happened tonight on the track. But it's what, again, we spoke about the foundations that were built. Foundations that were built earlier this season, throughout this season to come into tonight. You know, if that didn't happen to Reese, and Reese was in this position as well, it'd be the same position for Reese. The only difference is he has previously won a race in Split 2. That's literally the only difference.
Huge effort, and that just goes to show you how much the Split 2 has condensed as far as times and abilities and things like that. It's all about consistency. You know, the 1%ers that don't make mistakes. You know, the limiting your errors and all that sort of stuff, and that just goes to show you that it is possible without actually winning a race, as you just said before. There's a big battle pack here from Ben Brook all the way back to Matty Monday. It's a huge little battle pack here.
It's a massive train. It is a massive train. There's a couple of good runners in there. McCune up 17 tonight after a pit lane start and an earlier incident as well. That's a great effort from Scott McCune this evening in that Mustang. Monday, as you said, up 13. You're up 10 at the moment, Brett. Hedersheet up 13. Oosterval up 11. It has been a fantastic run for these cars to this point in time. 2 laps to go here at Montreal before the championship is decided and before the season ends and we look ahead to season 27. It's amazing to think that we are only, Brett, 4 seasons away from... Well, actually, no, sorry, I apologise. We're only 2 seasons away from getting to the... what would it be? The 7th anniversary of Vets.
Okay, yeah.
Because 4 seasons per year. 28. Season 28 is the 7th birthday of V8 Veterans. Is the 6th anniversary.
Header sheet out sideways there in the back of that group, in the middle of that group.
He's really starting to push back
it's and 4 splits, you know, so and going strong. As you said, we've got 20 new people coming into the mix. I mean, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
I've aged significantly since we started Vets. Since I started doing the Split 2 broadcast back in 2023. I've gone from being a plucky little 23-year-old. No, not 23. What am I saying? My God. 25-year-old. Or 24 turning 25. So 24-year-old to now a 27-year-old who's turning 28 this year. And I think the progression of the racing across that years has been incredible.
Stoyles was having a crack at Blanchard there.
He was having a proper crack at him back here. Onto the white flag though. One to go for Damon Fisher. So 1 lap or half a lap at this stage to survive to Scott McKenzie, who's driven incredibly well here this evening up in P2. Up 7 positions, kept it nice and tidy. Shane Randall.
Run from McKenzie.
Shane Randall is only a handful of corners away from calling himself a Split 2 champion, with Michael Jones and Bruce Tannick inside the top 5 as well as they come around turn 10 for the final time here this evening. Damon Fisher has been on absolute fire. If he remains in Split 2 next season, watch out for the 505 Mustang as he comes up to turn 13 and 14. Past the wall of champions he'll come. And he's going to take the 266 Mustang to the top step of the podium for the final time in season 26. Damon Fisher wins to Scott McKenzie, and Shane Randall is officially crowned the Split 2 champion for season 26. Michael Jones, Bruce Tannick in behind them. Hedersheet's just gone off the road down there. Oh my God, there's contact with Oosterval. We'll have to watch that one back, as Hedersheet, I think, is trying to redress the position back there. But it's going to be too late, too sorry. Jones, Tannick in the top 5. Weston in a great effort in the top 10. Brooke, Manuel, Horsell and Rick Viger make up our top 10 in the end. But it is a race win for Damon Fisher. His first win in Vets. His first win for his new team. A fantastic effort here tonight for Damon Fisher. And I think
the 266 boys got to be pumped about their season. They started off incredibly strong, and we've just seen, them up and down a little bit. But I tell you, great effort from Damon there. It was a fantastic race, and he'd be absolutely stoked with that.
So we've got 3 names going in the chat for Driver of the Day nominations. Final round, special rules apply. 3 names are putting out there, and the votes will be accepted after this goes out. Damon Fisher, Scott McKenzie, Bruce Tannick. Who's your driver of the day? All 3 of them drove spectacular. And seriously, I think Bruce drove great. It's probably one of his best drives ever in terms of cleanliness, keeping himself quick and fighting his way forward. It's a great effort there from Bruce Tannick tonight, as Damon will lead them round off of this final lap and to the end. So we mentioned the the history that's been made off of this as well. So for Shane Randall, he becomes the first Split 2 champion in a 10-round season to win the championship without winning a race in that season. He becomes the first Split 2 champion to win the championship without ever winning a race in the Veterans as well, after our closest run to a championship battle at the end of the season we've ever seen. 1 point was the differential coming into tonight's race as well. It's the 5th championship for this team in their history, and the 4th in the last 5 seasons. Their 2nd Split 2 championship in the last 3 seasons, last one in season 24. Did not win it in season 25, of course. And for the 501 and Black Art Designs, this becomes the 3rd championship for this sponsorship on the side of a car for this team as well. The other 2, the way of Ray Smith in Split 4 and Split 3 in season 22 and season 23. As the celebrations begin and the burnouts begin for Shane Randall here tonight as he clinches the championship after a toughly fought season where ultimately foundations were built for himself and his other competitors. And off controversy, well, it wouldn't be Split 2 without controversy, would it, Brett?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Wouldn't be Split 2 without controversy. It was a fantastic championship one for him in the 501 car. As we get up our race results for tonight's event here for round 10, it is Damon Fisher winning the final round of the season, gets his first race win. Look at that, 505 P. I was going to say 505 P1, 503 P2, 501 P3. It's quite funny how that works out.
Yeah,
Damon Fisher P1 to Scott McKenzie and Shane Randall on the podium. Michael Jones, Bruce Tannick make up our top 5. Scott Weston, Ben Brook, Phil Manuel, Brett Horsell and Rick Viger for our top 10. Brett Taylor, Matt Stoyles, the top 12, ahead of Chris Blanchard, Scott McCune and Brett Fisher for the top 15. That clinches the battle of the Bretts for Brett Fisher this season. Congratulations, Brett, once again. Simon Hedesheed, Matt Monday, Andrew Galley, Ron Allen, Jeremy Bush makes up the top 20 at the end of town. Pete Baxter ahead of Derek Lovegrove, Joel Oosterval, Halil Cesar, Roy Clark ahead of Andrew Hoffman for our top 26 with Pete Latham, Mick Clifton, Reese DeGoey ahead of Alex Kiddis with Paul Burns, Stephen Kokoschke and Todd Duggan at the back end of the field here this evening. Wayne Shepherd joined the wrong server on Thursday night. That's why he's at the bottom of the totem pole. But as the celebrations have begun, and before we chat to our compatriots in the green room here tonight, it's time for the round 10 highlights.
Oh, beauty!
For the final time this season, we'll get our highlights packages going here for the final round. So it all started, of course, on the main straight, off the race started. It was a relatively clean first lap off the start line here. And there was only really one incident to report upon. It was a great pass. Fantastic pass off the race start for them. And as we headed out, Ron Allen would be the first one to get caught up in a moment down towards turn 1. Hooked up here with Blanchard. A little bit of a contact. And just, I think, forced maybe just a slap. Yep, that's where the front end would have dropped off the 5 car of Cesar in that nose-to-tail action down there. That's where that would have happened. Brett Horsell as well gets in an incident late in the lap too, so just has to cross the final corner, and that got him a slowdown off the back end of that corner as well. We then kept it relatively cleanly for quite a long period of the race. Roy Clark getting some track extension out there as well, down at turn 3-4, just traversing the grass at one stage. So that drops him down the order a little bit there. We spoke about it quite a lot, about the battle between Damon Fisher and Shane Randall for quite a long period of this race. We then saw Scott McCune have a moment down at turn 1 too. So this was his moment down here that we called upon earlier. And actually how this happened down here. So he just lost the rear end, round she went, and across the pit exit line, and that's why he was offline down there. Then we had Roy Clark and Alex Kiddis, who, well, they were like Elvis together tonight. They had so many hits out on the road in Montreal. This was the first one. So Kiddis trying to get past Clark.
Right on the inside.
Contact's made and around he goes.
Yeah.
So earlier in the race, and actually I'll go back past to this actually because I nearly forgot about it. This has just reminded me of it actually.
Yeah, Roy needs to change his sponsorship to Target, I think. Sorry, Roy.
That's a good one. That was a good one. I'm going to try and find it now. The pass a few laps earlier for Alex Kiddis, and I can't find it. That's helpful. Anyway, he lost it, so that's fine. So that incident happened down there. And Roy continued to get into a couple of off-track scenarios throughout that period as well. Some close battling all throughout. This was Todd Duggan's off-track that ultimately took him out of the race down at turn 3 and 4, lost the rear and into the barrier.
Yeah, that was just in front of me. Yeah, he just got that, just lit the rears up and all she wrote.
Pete Latham as well, getting caught up in some incidents here tonight. This is down at turn 10. He got caught up in this. This was after Duggan had rejoined the circuit, actually, and kept himself going once again. This looks like a self-made spin down here. It's exactly what it is. Pulls it up.
Caught it.
Keeps it
Caught
going.
it. Well done, Pete.
He did very, very well to keep it going. Then we were kind of just nice and tidy for a little period of time until we got into the final pit stops of the race. And the main one that we saw happening, or the strategy play that we saw happening for Infinity Motorsport, was the short fill for the 5 car to try and get out and around Reese to Goey to battle him for position and try and slow him down into the clutches of Cesar's teammate Shane Randall in behind him. So it was a tactical play to come into pit lane to do this. There's many other teams out there that pulled this sort of strategy as well, Brett, ultimately. And I think that, you know, it's a 1% a tactical move that they tried to play here to do this, to just again to try and race this thing to the end is what they're trying to achieve. And then we get to the incident. So we're going to look at this quite a few times to view and watch and try and view properly here. So then we get a good couple of angles of it. So first one we're going to look at here is obviously with the 5 car of Cesar to work through this, because as we said, race control mulled over this incident for quite a while because ultimately it wasn't a completely clear-cut incident between them. So this was the moment down here, and we mentioned was it a benefit for Reese to let him go or to battle him? And again, it's a tough balancing act in deciding what you want to do. So Reese
has got gone wide, ran a little bit wide there, and Halil's sort of gone, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity.
And he's got and the rear lights up, and as it lights up, it's arced the car over. Reese has come off the curb, and because of the arcing of the car from Halil, that's then when the very ultimately minor contact on the cars was made together. So that's where that's kind of come from. So it's off of this, which we'll see right here. So if it's not going to do it, there we go. So that's where the rear goes. So the rear slides across slightly. And so then that arcs the car across towards the apex when the rear slid out on him as he's changed gears. And we spoke to Bruce McLeod post-race about this incident together, Brett, when we were actually looking through it. And he mentioned that the drive-through came because of that little arcing. That's why the drive-through would have gone his way, was because the rear lit up and it arced the car towards Reese. Yeah, was what they said, or was what Bruce said. So yeah, they continue through, and they're side by side, bit of contact, and they're just locked in, and it's hard racing between them both. Neither of them want to give it up. Reese definitely doesn't want to give it up, and Halil's trying to play the team tactic at that point as well. So, that's.
I think the big point that we trying to sort of like just cover off on here is that it definitely wasn't deliberate.
No,
I mean that's just like Randall or your team, the Infinity team, do not want to win a championship by just taking out somebody else, and I think that's why we just trying to cover off on this at the moment to abate any of those question marks that people might go, oh, look, he took him out, blah, 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 and lots of stuff. It definitely wasn't, I don't think. There was no deliberate thing there, and it was just unfortunate. It was really unfortunate. As I commented during the race, it would have been great to see Randall and DeGoey battle it out on track, and it was a team play that you guys decided to go down, and it is what it is, it's just unfortunate that it ended like that. My heart goes out to Reese.
And it goes out from me to Reese as well. I mean, as soon as that moment happened, and I saw he was back in pit lane, I went to apologise to him straight away, and try and console him as well at that time, because that's not how I wanted it to end. That's the furthest from how I wanted it to end. And yeah, as I said, I was completely heartbroken for him that happened.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it's racing. Things happen in racing.
And that's right. You know, I mean, yeah, and up until that point, I think the battle was fantastic. It was an absolutely epic battle. And I think we were all robbed of that final sort of like battle. But I mean, it's racing. Everyone's going to battle, you know, it's going to happen, you know, and these things happen. But, you know, look, we move on and we'll hopefully get to talk to Reece and Shane and whoever else.
Shane's in there. Reece has not joined the green room just yet, so we'll see if Reece does
get in there,
joining us. This was the moment that happened with Roy Clark and Alex Kiddis, and this is a very weird one down here at the exit of turn 2. So let's try and get a bit of a look at this here. So Roy lights it up, crosses turn 2, so he'll get a slowdown because of this, and then lights up the rears, catches the line, and then Kiddis comes in and makes contact.
Just unfortunately caught in there, yeah. Real unfortunate moment there between them.
Then we had Joel Oosterval as well get involved in an incident down at turn 1 as well with Matt Stoyles, it seems. So something's happened between these guys that's forced them to lock horns. Although actually it's just synchronized spins between them. So that's what's gone down.
If you can spin, I can do better.
Exactly right. Then we saw Andrew Galley off the road down here at turn 9. So he lost the rears down there, and then off the road it went into the little escape area there as well.
Just launched the car off that ripple.
Yep. And then how's Alex done this?
Oh,
so he's come out of the corner. Oh, he blew the engine.
Money shift.
How's he money shifted like that?
I wonder if that's a deliberate. I don't want. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that, but that looked a bit unusual.
That was a bit suspect. That one was a bit suspect.
Anyway,
and then there was this one down here off of turn 1. So this one we have to go back for. Yeah, this one we have to actually reverse for. So this is Paul Burns and Stephen Kokoschke battling away. So Kokoschke gets caught on the outside with Paul.
With a bit of bump side by side.
Gets loose, contact's made on the cold tyres, and then it just worsens from there. And it's just a massive crescendo down at that point of the circuit as well.
Mick Clifton in there as well, I think.
Yep. And then the other contestive moment at the end of the race was this one here with Joel Oosterval and Simon Hedersheed. So Hedersheed's on the inside, locks up the brakes.
That's a locked.
Goes through, tries to rejoin straight back on the circuit as Oosterval's on his outside, and contact's made and Oosterval's gone around. It's a tough night. It's a night full of controversies. It's a night full of chaos amongst those controversies as well.
Happiness and sadness.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, a lot of mixed emotions, of course, and a lot of tough moments on the road for some drivers out there as well. But for others, it is also pure elation for their efforts this season, not just tonight, but for the last 5, for the previous 9 rounds of the season as well. I'm just trying to find. There we go. There's a driver of the day. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I mean, we could have asked for more in that last race, but we got what we got, and at the end of the day, it was entertaining nonetheless. And we saw some winners, we saw some losers. Great win for Damon taking out this round, his first round win in Vets. So the congratulations to him. Well done to Shane Randall for winning the championship. Sorry, commiserations to Reece DeGoey. Unfortunately, didn't quite get there, but great to see the battle that we saw on track all throughout this season. And I look forward to, as I said before, season 27. It's only going to be bigger and better.
It will indeed, and we'll start our discussions here tonight with our race winner for the evening, Damon Fisher. Damon, welcome in. Congratulations on the race win here tonight. A fantastic effort, and it's not just a race win. It is also a Driver of the Day award as well. Congratulations.
Oh, is it 2 weeks? 2 weeks in a row for a Driver of the Day?
Might be. Did he get... No. Joel Oosterval got it last week for going to save his dog from the snake.
Oh, that was right. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, he got that. Geez, I'll tell you what, 266 have actually taken drive of the day for a fair bit this season. Unbelievable.
They have. They've
Well
done
done.
But no, congratulations, Damon. Race win. Your first race win for your new team, and Driver of the Day award to boot as well. Congratulations.
Unbelievable, thank God I actually got a win. I'm absolutely wrapped, man, I tell ya. I'll just say 6 words. Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. It was just, that's exactly how I felt, the whole race. I said to myself when I was qualifying, I thought if I qualify high or up in the front there, I've got one or two choices. I can either, power on and get out in the front, because I didn't want to upset the guys that were fighting for the championship. I was a bit sort of terrified of taking one of them out or something like that, and I didn't want that to happen. So, evidently I ended up qualifying good. So I thought, okay, it's on. I've got to try and get out the front and get out of their hair so I can so they can race on and do their thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you drove incredibly well tonight, Damon, and obviously a spectacular run this season. Towards the end, after you did have these internet issues fixed up, if you're going to remain in Split 2 next season, are you confident that you can carry this car maybe to a championship? Because Brett and I are believers that you're going to be a contender next season if you're in Split 2. Do you believe you're going to be a contender, though, being on board this car?
Look, Hamish, I feel like I've got a good chance. And, a while back there, I got put up into Split 1 because I did have a bit of pace then. And I didn't really, it was a good experience, but obviously, you really want to win a championship before you go up into Split 1. And I think the time that I spent in Split 2 really molds your driving and all that sort of stuff, and it prepares you for that. And I think I do need to get a few more race wins, or even finish high up on the podium to sort of get that rhythmic sort of racing sort of going, so that I can maybe take a championship out. And I think if I can keep this momentum going, yes, I think I could be on for a good chance at doing well next season.
Do you think it'll eat Brett alive if he has to call you as the Split 2 champion for season 27?
Oh, most definitely.
Whatever.
Well, Damon, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming and have a chat to us as well. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go here this evening?
Look, congratulations to Shane and Reese and Scott McKenzie. I mean, Scott McKenzie was pressuring me on that towards the end there. It was fantastic racing from him. And, Stephen Kukoski, bad luck for him. I felt sorry for him, but, he's another one that's, next season I'm going to be, fighting against, no doubt. But, congratulations to all those guys. I've also probably should thank some sponsors. 19 for our liveries, Next Level Racing, Pagnium Simulation Experts, and a new sponsor that's just coming on board is Angry Panda, make bamboo towels. So that'll be good to have
that'll keep the sweat off his during the races, won't it?
Definitely. Definitely. So, it's all the guys in our team. We're all doing real well. I think there's a couple of new members joining next season. I won't mention who they are.
Oh, you don't want to give us the inside scoop?
Well, I haven't been given the go-ahead to that,
okay.
I don't want to do that. Look, all the guys in our team are just fantastic. We're all getting along real good and helping each other, and all having fun racing. And I'd just probably like to thank all the other guys in Split 2 too. I think it's just a fantastic breed of guys. We're all racing hard. I think the top 25 drivers in Split 2 have all got a chance of winning a race, if not the championship. So it's just fantastic.
Luke has given you the go ahead in the chat to do it.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Well, okay. Look, I don't know. I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but Jim Caparonis.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
and Greg Shelton. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but yeah, a couple of guys that'll be joining our team next season. So yeah,
Well, we look forward to
Interesting
seeing
stuff.
how those new additions go and what that could mean for the future in terms of those drivers being within this team. So,
We'll see.
Damien,
yeah. I think look, Jim's going to be absolutely excellent for Luke being in split one. You know, so Luke's going to have someone to sort of partner up with. You know, so. You know, and Greg, you know, we've got a few drivers down in his sort of field, so and he's got plenty of guys that can help him improve.
That's the way to do it. You know, find guys that are around your driver's pace that can help them and grow together. It's you know, it's a great way to build your team and to build up a catalogue of strong drivers within your team as well. So, you know, congratulations 266 on those pickups. We look forward to seeing how they go in season 27 and beyond. We look forward to seeing how you go next season as well, Damon. Best of luck out for round one at Bathurst in a few weeks' time. Enjoy the break, and we appreciate you coming and have a chat to us as well.
No worries, guys. Thank you very much, and thank you guys for the broadcast. Absolutely excellent job you guys are doing.
No worries. Thanks so much, Damon.
Thanks, mate.
Now we've got both Reese and Shane in the green room. Brett, do we drag them in together or do we drag them in
Yeah,
one
I
at a
reckon.
time?
Yeah, bring them both in.
Okay, all right, we'll force them in here together. Hello, Reese. Hello, Shane. We've forced both of you in here together at Brett's request.
Wow. I don't know. Turn something.
Do you guys
Turn
want
some sound down.
Do you guys want a quick word with each other first?
We've been chatting, but yeah. Obviously, was saying Reese, you know, wasn't ideal, but yeah, like we've raced pretty close together all season and stuff like that. So yeah, congratulations to him for being such a tough competitor and stuff.
And then Reese, your thoughts on the back end of it as well, after a couple of days, obviously, from the end of that race in the season?
Yeah, just it is what it is.
Feel free to speak your mind. I mean, it's okay. I mean, look, it is what it is. You know, and look, I think you drove an absolutely perfect race. You know, like I could just see what you were trying to achieve through the different sections of the race, and I knew, you know, I assumed what you were thinking when Halil was behind you and stuff like that. You know, and it was unfortunate, and I bet you gutted, and I'm gutted for you too. And I mean, I just would have, and as everyone would have liked to have seen the battle finish on track, and it's just unfortunate that it did happen. But you know, not to take anything away from you, you've had a fantastic season, and up until that point, you drove an absolutely fantastic race. Very, very smart, I thought.
Oh yeah. Thanks very much for that. I knew that if Halil did get in front of me, it was going to be pushing back to Shane and push myself back to Shane. So, racing thoughts was just keep him behind me. Hopefully, he'll burn his tyres off. He'll be less of a threat after a while. And I've raced with Halil, and I know that he's a very clean driver. So I obviously knew that he was never going to be there to take me out.
Yeah.
I don't have any of those thoughts through my head about scenario, team orders, take him out. You know, he's got to get the championship, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, none of that stuff. And I think fortunate with the loss of traction, you know, just he lit it up a little bit, changed the gear, it started towards me, and then I climbed the curb a bit to try and leave him room, and then, yeah, we come together. Red Rover.
And I think one of the main reasons why I wanted to sort of like get you both in together is just to sort of put you know, just to put a rest to that, you know, because there's a lot of people out there that might look at it otherwise. And I know you and Shane and Halil probably aren't of that opinion, but I just wanted to clean it up for the other punters out there that are watching it that might have that view. So I just wanted to sort of like air that and clean it up, just so we can all move forward and there's no animosity towards anyone.
Oh yeah, of course not. I mean, like if you're going to harbour animosity towards someone over sim racing, man, you might as well just pack it up and sell it off to somebody else.
Oh, geez, I better give it up then. No, I was only joking.
I mean, if you can't get over fucking little niggles like that, then just, pack it up.
No, 100%, 100%. But, mate, I mean,
I
look,
know.
You go for it, you go.
I knew Halil was going to play the team game. Like, I mean, the shoe was on the other foot, and it was one of my teammates in that position. They'd have been trying to do the same thing. So, part of racing. I think, was it the guys in the chat said, that it's racing. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, looking back on the previous 9 rounds as well, Reece, outside of obviously the final round as well, if you look at your championship run as a whole, how are you feeling coming off of it? Obviously, there was, we had a small chat on Thursday, but how are you feeling now after a couple of days, knowing the whole season, put together? How are you feeling after those first 9 rounds, and how strong of a season you actually did put together leading into the final round as well?
I had a poor first 2 rounds. I qualified well at Street Circuit in Adelaide, but then I ended up getting a slowdown. I couldn't bleed off in time, and so I ended up doing a big, stop and hold first race. So that sort of killed that. I can come back to 16th on that. And then it was a bad bend race with the safety car missing the opportunity to get one of the pit stops scratched off early. And then crash and coming together later on the race. That just ruined that round. And then from round 3 onwards, it's been, a cracker.
I mean, you drove absolutely, exceptional all season, and watching your progression, I think, from previous seasons when you've been in Split 2 into this season as well. I mean, both Brett and I were very impressed by your racecraft this season and how well you have improved coming into this season as well. And, and both Brett and I have the same feeling of like, seriously, my heart goes out to you for what did happen. Not only as a broadcaster, as a team owner as well. As I said to you on Thursday, like, it was just, my heart was broken. My heart was so broken because I didn't want it to go down that way. But yeah, you drove a fantastic season. More than likely you'll be in Split 1 next season. If you do return to Split 2 in future, I think you're going to be a massive, massive contender. And I think you're going to be someone that everyone's going to look at as a pace marker and as a driver that they're going to try and aim to beat on track. So I think you've built yourself now something that you're going to be a Split 2 champion at some stage if ever you come back to Split 2. And I think it's only a matter of time before you've got that trophy next to your name and before you've ticked that box off the list and you've got that, got that little monkey off your shoulder. So I think you've driven exceptionally well, Reece, and congratulations on all your success throughout this season. And we appreciate the competition that you put on circuit all season, and how well you drove, and we appreciate you coming and have a chat to us here tonight as well. After what was a fantastic season for yourself, for the vast majority of it.
Yeah, no, thanks, Hamish, and thanks, Fishy. You guys been doing an awesome broadcast. Do enjoy sitting back and watching it on Saturday. And congratulations, Shane. Like the guys have said, you've driven a near flawless 10 rounds to take top position. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Can I ask, what does SLS stand for?
I don't actually know. I didn't start the team, but I'm assuming it's the 3 names. It's the 2 Steves and Luke, so the guys that started the team, I'm assuming.
I was going to say, is it like Steve Lanyon Steve or...
No, because there's Luke Grump.
Yes, that'd be Steve, Luke, and Steve. You got to add a B and an R on there though for you and Brian. So it's SLSBR.
And Rivo. Rivo's there with us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, look out next season. If you update your paints, you'll have a whole host of bloody letters on there.
We'll start calling them Alphabet Racing going forward. But no, Reece, congratulations on your efforts this season. Best of luck in Split 1 for season 27. Is there anyone that you wish to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, so we've got the team sponsors, got Sheer Genius, Spot On Egg, Minogue Fitness, Nash Excavations, and just the guys from SLS, Steve, Luke, and Steve. Like, they took me on after my first season in 18 when I was with Performance Sim and had no one to race with. So put out the feelers for a few teams, and I'd actually been in their chat through practices and that, and we sort of just gelled as friends, and so it grew from there. So they've taken me on, and I've actually done well. But 2 with their drive. So yeah, they're good teammates to have. Thanks to them.
Well, Reece, thank you so much. Best of luck in season 27, and we look forward to seeing what you can do if you ever make a return to Split 2 in future, and if you can claim that championship for yourself. I think it's going to happen at some point. The way that you've been driving, you are going to be a Split 2 champion here eventually, good sir. So thank you so much, and yeah, best of luck for next season, and enjoy the break.
All right, guys. Thanks, mate.
Thanks so much.
Well done, Reece. Thanks, mate.
Well, Mr. Randall, I mentioned the history on the broadcast that you made coming out of tonight's race now as the Split 2 champion. First ever 10-round Split 2 champion not to win a race, and the first Split 2 champion to win the championship without ever winning a race in Split 2. It's the most Shane Randall way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, just consistency, hey, mate? Yeah. So, yeah, no, don't have the ultimate pace of a lot of the guys, but yeah, had some pretty good qualifying performances to get it in the top 5 or top 10 to start. So yeah, that makes as all the boys know, that makes a massive difference to Split 2 racing to make sure you're up the front at the start.
Oh, it definitely does, and talk us through your season. Obviously, Adelaide was your home race. You wanted to try and get that first win. You were ever so close to it. Obviously, on the podium for that one. You missed the Bend, which was your next home round, and then your season kind of rolled on from there. But how was it for you in perspective of being on board the car as a driver, and just how consistent this season has truly been for you?
Yeah, I think obviously it all builds. I think I started in season 16 or something like that. So obviously, yeah, you build up your experience and stuff, and yeah, always try to run clean and stay out of trouble, and yeah, have good strategy from talking with the other teammates about how we're going to tackle things. So yeah, that's the way to handle it. Yeah, I've had pretty good pace at Adelaide. Probably the first time I reckon I've had pace on the field there. But yeah, obviously Grumley got that one done just with a bit of strategy with when the safety car come out. And yeah, all the other rounds are pretty good. Brett Fisher had a bit of a tangle with him at Sebring that didn't go so well. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, we're able to come through. So yeah, pretty happy.
Well, looking ahead now to season 27, it's your first time you're back in Split 1 in quite a few seasons to this point. I think the last time you were in Split 1 was season 20. So yeah, 6 seasons back in Split 2. How are you feeling going into it?
I think I've definitely got more pace than I had when I was there the first time. I think I got myself to Split 1 using a Logitech G29. So yeah, obviously we've got a bit nicer gear now. Yeah, and yeah, shout out to Pato a few seasons ago for getting us some direct drive stuff to use. So yeah, that makes a difference. But yeah, like I don't know, maybe like some of the chat, probably be fighting for 35th, 45th in the Split 1. But yeah, we'll put our best foot forward.
Well, season 27 to come. I've just posted an updated sponsor list for you, Shane. So then you've got an up-to-date one because I hadn't updated it in a while. I haven't updated it in a while. I had to update it.
I haven't got enough screens. I got a couple written down. But yeah, like if we want to run through who to thank, like I think the first thing to thank is the guys that put together the league, right? Like V8 Vets. How good is it? Everyone's like great bloke. Like how good a guy is it for Reece to be so understanding on what happened with him and Halil with just hard racing, right? Just lit up. So yeah, big thanks to the guys that that organise the season. Obviously, everyone that does race control, thanks very much for donating your time to do a great job. And like the calls this year have been really, really good, I think. And yeah, I think that goes for all the splits. So obviously that's awesome. Racecraft, the main series sponsors for the league. So yeah, that's awesome. And obviously on the Infinity side, yeah, thanks to Infinity Broadcasting and the work that you do, Hamish, as well as Brett, to give us something to watch every Saturday, which is bloody awesome. Yeah, Blackheart Designs, Hamish's Porsche League that he does on Monday or Tuesdays, iRacing World Challenge. So yeah, there's heaps of people to thank. While we're thanking people, yeah, like big thanks to the team, like Halil, bloody Will, Robbie, Matty Foo, Justin Wood. Who am I missing? Steve, spot me. Yeah,
good old Razor as well, your teammate.
Yeah,
for next season
yeah,
Split One.
Up in Split One with Razor. Yeah,
and James as well, good old Borsman, who backed up this season at times.
When he's not on holidays.
Yeah, when he's not at the Grand Prix this week, Borsman.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I think if anyone's listening, if you're not in a team, get into it. Find a bunch of like-minded guys that you can enjoy it with. It makes it so much more enjoyable.
I think it levels up, doesn't it? If you're in a team, it just, I think a whole host of things really just come to you, just being able to actually practice and, talk to each other about all sorts of different bits and pieces. And, yeah, it just gets you going, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, mate. And I don't know, one thing I'd like to say to all the vets drivers, bloody get into some officials and do some official racing, let's get out there and get a few races happening where everyone can improve the racecraft and stuff like that, because I find that so beneficial. I try to do the Monday night official, and obviously what Sprint's been doing with Tuesdays where I'm free. So yeah, I don't know, get out there racing rather than hot lapping.
That's a good point to make. Well, Shane, congratulations on the championship. Thanks so much for coming and have a chat to us as well. Best of luck next season in Split 1 for season 27. We'll see whenever you may return back to Split 2, but soak it up, enjoy it, and enjoy the break as well heading into next season.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks everyone. And yeah, I don't know, last one, yeah, just shout out to my family for letting me spend so much time and cash on sim racing. But probably a few blokes can say that.
I'm sure they can. Thank you so much. Shane Randall, season 26, Split 2 champion. Thanks, for boys. Infinity Motorsport. Thank you so much, Shane. And just to knock off the other sponsors that he didn't mention for the team, since I do know them off by heart as well, the other title sponsor for the team is Watton Mechanical, as well to the other minor sponsors, Motorsport Parts Australia, VRS, and Cooler Master as well to the amazing brands that help get the drivers on track every single week. Without them, they don't have rigs, and without those rigs, they can't go racing. Without not going racing, they don't win championships. So they're the other ones for the team. But Brett, new season to come our way. A fantastic provisional calendar has been put forward by the committee at this stage for vets. So there's a couple of housekeeping things to do. I haven't made a graphic for the calendar yet. I do apologise. Been very, very slack recently. But to list through them for next season, we've got round 1, March 26, 2026, 250 Ks, 41 laps of Mount Panorama Bathurst before we head out to Road America the week after, Road Atlanta after that, VIR full circuit for round 4, Long Beach returns for round 5, 4 200k races in a row, by the way, before we head out to the NASCAR West layout of Coda for 150 Ks in round 6, Fuji, no chicane for the Enduro in round 7, 300 kilometres, 50 laps. The best layout of Fuji. I'm so excited for that one. Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit in round 8 for 150 Ks. We then head back to the Nürburgring for the Gesem-Strecke 24-hour circuit, of course, so the full Nürburgring Nordschleife for 200 Ks. And we end it all where we started it this season, 250 Ks, 78 laps, Adelaide Street Circuit, round 10 on the 28th of May, 2026. Get your tickets in to come and watch us, because it's going to be absolutely spectacular. You can find all the action, of course, right here on the V8 Veterans channel for the Split 2, Split 3, and Split 4 action for next season of Season 27. So be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing right here with Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans. For those 3 splits, for Split 1, go and support Simspeed CV by hitting like, subscribe, and the bell icon there. as well. And if you want to help support Infinity Broadcasting and watch Split 2 over on our side, well, you can come hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing on the channel. We've got coming up on your docket our Monday doubleheader with the US Highside Motorsports Gen 6 NASCAR League action coming your way 11:50 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. This Monday night, we're heading out to Talladega Super Speedway. It's bound to be chaos. It's going to be spectacular. You want to come and check it out? Myself, Jack Anderson, in the booth for that one around about midday. You can fill your lunch break, Brett, by coming to watch some NASCAR stuff. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Then you can fill your dinner time later in the evening, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, with the VRS Porsche Cup Series as we begin our final series with the first semi-final round of the season. We've only got 2 rounds to go. Our semi-final is this week at Miami International Autodrome, where we raced last week in the Vets. So you've got a preview of it in the Supercar. Come check it out in the Porsche Cup car Monday night. Myself and Brandon Stuck in the booth for that one as we continue to move on the road to crowning 3 new champions in Porsche Cup Series action as well. If you want to keep an eye out next season on what to look out for when you're looking for the Season 27 Split 2 broadcast, as we often do, the thumbnail for next season, well, we've gone back to, if I can find where I've actually put it, here it is.
The
where I put it.
future.
We're going back to blue. Season 27. March 26 is when we're racing. The first round is scheduled for broadcast Saturday, March 28th, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. You guys do not want to miss it going forward, and that is what you can be looking out for next season in terms of the thumbnail for Split 2. So that's what you need to be keeping an eye out for. For the end of Season 26, well, we'll give you a quick little rundown of the standings for the top 10 of the championship. Shane Randall wins it on 1,368 points. Reese to go in P2 on 1,317. Scott McKenzie moves up to P3 in the championship after that result tonight, 1,264 points in P3. 1 point ahead of Alex Kiddis in P4 at 1,263. Equal points tied with Matt Stoyles in P5 on 1,263. And then Damon Fisher, P6 in the championship after that win, 1,262 points to Simon Heddersheet and Phil Manuel. Simon Heddersheet on 1,261 points, 1 point behind Damon Fisher. Manuel a further 10 points back on 1,251 to Chris Blanchard on 1,232 points in P9. Equal with Rick Viger, P10 of the championship, 1,232 points as well. You can find them in further detail over on the Sim Racer Hub within the Discord server of the Vets as well. So we appreciate everybody's time once again. I appreciate your time, Brett, once again this season. It's been absolutely spectacular. Bring on Season 27. It's going to be spectacular.
I'm pumped. Look out.
I'm pumped
it's
again.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic. The split reveal, of course, will be coming your way leading up to Season 27. I'll have a chat with Mr. Van Ray to see if we're going to be a part of it, talking through the splits and seeing where everyone's going to be lining up heading into next season as well. Big shout out, of course, has to go to the series sponsors, of course, Racecraft Simulations, the title sponsors, which have now been on board with V8 Veterans ever since Season 18. Only a little bit under 2 years ago. Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Player One Sim Gear, Nova Simsports, Südspeed gloves, LGC Images, and M1 Used Cars for the Driver of the Day award. Tonight, it went the way of our race winner, Damon Fisher. Next season, it could go to you. For myself, Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside. Appreciate your time. Appreciate it for being here with us once again. Hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so we can see you again in future. But until Season 27, and until we head out to the mountain, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Track to the ground. strike to the ground. With V8 sound, further strike to the ground. Come on now, put your name in lights.
The Racing Series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we've created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. Very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In this sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's just say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Introducing the Rackraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed the Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racecraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racecraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no-compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation. Yeah, we're working
you. Two laps left. Come on. You're looking good for a podium. All right. Clear right.